Thanks, Duncan.
So what are you thinking in the open with Gavin Gill?
We are into the final few weeks of the high school basketball regular season, and tonight from Colleyville Heritage High School, it's a matchup of two of the district powers in 7-5A as state-ranked Argyle visits Colleyville Heritage on Tuesday Night Hoops. And with that, we welcome you courtside alongside Heckma Harrison. I'm Mike Leslie. A matchup of two of the top teams, Heckma, in the district in 7-5A tonight. Two teams that have a lot of potential for postseason runs, and they need to start a stretch run this evening.
Hey, it ain't over. And so games like this are definitely going to be necessary to see who's going to be the champ at the end of all of these games that are played. But, man, you got two of the best right now in 7-5A on one floor.
Give you a look at the district standings in 7-5A. It is the Argyle Eagles at the top of the table, 9-0 on the year in district play, 27-3 overall. Colleyville Heritage right there with Denton Ryan. You can see a pretty clear line of demarcation between the top three teams in the district and everybody else. Heritage with a win tonight could make things an awful lot more interesting within district as we get into these final 3 weeks or so of the regular season.
Yeah, slim margin of error, like you said. Those top three teams that are there, it can rarely you be in a situation where, look, you can't afford to lose a game even in those top three, but Denton Ryan definitely has invested interest in this game also.
No doubt. This is a rematch of a game from December 19th, won by Argyle, 49-37, the final in that matchup. In that game, a significant similarity to tonight in that game and this game will not feature Argyle's all-state player, Gabby Campbell. She missed that game right on the front end of not feeling well. She hasn't been feeling well for about a month now. Finally, they figured out what's going on. It's a non-COVID illness, but it's going to have her out for probably the next 2 weeks or so that she can recuperate. So they're going to need to be able to play without her on the floor tonight.
Look, she is a big part of the success that the Eagles are having. And you take the floor without Gabby Campbell, you probably would say, look, this would give a lot of these other teams an opportunity to kind of sneak into first place, but not so fast. This is a Westmoreland-led team that they play to the end, the last whistle, and that's the way that they're going to play here tonight.
Chance Westmoreland said it to us when we talked to him earlier this week. When they won that game at Argyle back in December, he said, listen, role players play better at home. This is going to be a bigger challenge on the road against Colleyville Heritage. Somebody who is not a role player for Argyle. In fact, their second leading scorer is our player to watch for tonight on the Eagles side of things, Samantha Bacon, averaging better than 10 points per game. She's been starting for Coach Westmoreland since she was a freshman.
Hey, I would say, Mike, that there's a lot of pressure on her tonight, but look, she's been playing since her freshman year, so she comes into tonight fully capable of taking over the reins with Campbell out. It's just understanding that on defense, that's the role that they really have to fill because of how well Gabby plays on defense.
Meanwhile, on the flip side for Colleyville Heritage, it all starts with their point guard, Journey Hampton.
Yeah, they can't get anything done without her. And as their coach stated, she said, look, we win and we go as Journey Hampton goes. And that's just telling you the truth about who is the player to watch on the other side for the Panthers. She really is a scoring machine, but better than that, you see those 3 assists. She's also facilitating for other teammates as well. She is someone that you definitely have to watch. Keep your eyes on number 12 for the Panthers.
Courtney Lee, the head coach of Colleyville Heritage, said it to us earlier this week. When she gets hot, she stays hot. We'll see if she's able to get hot tonight.
Love it.
It is the return of Tuesday Night Hoops, a girls-boys doubleheader, Argyle and Colleyville Heritage. We tip it off next, right here on WFAA+.
Welcome.
North Texas, it's a hot one today. If you're planning on taking the pups out, make sure to protect their paws. That asphalt is going to be hot.
Thanks, Duncan.
Thanks, Delkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
WFAA has a legacy of changing the system.
Most recently, we did a story on ankle monitors and how they don't work.
and how criminals are committing crimes with ankle monitors. And yeah, there's legislative change coming.
Our 2-year investigation caught the attention of state representatives. Now, it's a crime to cut off ankle monitors.
I want people to see things that we need to hold people accountable for.
Right now in Terrell and in Dallas, your heat index is 107. Everyone in McKinney is dead. It's hot in McKinney. We'll fix that probably.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
WFAA Sports. To us, it's about so much more than a highlight, wins or losses. It's the heart that makes up the game, the triumph of human spirit, its agony and victory, diehards and day ones. It can divide or unify communities. We give you the stats, but inspire you with the stories, the unpredictable, unforgettable, and incomparable. We bring it to you all because sports lives in all of us.
And now, here are the starting lineups for tonight's game. First, the visitors from Argyle High School.
Back in Colleyville, just in time for the starting lineups to be announced. Argyle and Colleyville Heritage. Game 1 of a boys-girls doubleheader on tap here in District 7-5A. The starters from the visiting Argyle Lady Eagles being introduced right now. Their head coach, Chance Westmoreland. His starting 5, Reese Crabtree, Kennedy Hafer in the backcourt, Samantha Bacon, Landry Murphy, and Mallory Millington in the front court. Again, Gabby Campbell, the All-Stater, out for the next couple of weeks with a non-COVID illness. She also missed the first time these two teams met up back in December, a game that Argyle won 49-37. Meanwhile, for the homestanding Colleyville Heritage Panthers, their head coach, Courtney Lee, her second year at the helm for the Panthers, was an assistant here at Colleyville Heritage prior, 19-15 a year ago in her first season at the helm. Her starting 5 tonight: Madeline Williams, Journey Hampton in the backcourt, Brooklyn Cooper and Samari Stevenson, the forwards. And her starting center tonight, a late change. Just last night, they made a swap in the starting lineup. Sully Davis, the 6'2 junior, not just a fantastic basketball player, Heckma Harrison, also one of the very best volleyball recruits in the entire country. Ranked the #2 junior in Texas by PrepDig.com. She and Chance Westmoreland will tell you she's the best athlete on the floor tonight.
And everyone feels that way, and I think that volleyball background also helps her as well. She also has a sister on the roster, Onita Davis, who is 6'3". She comes in. She played last time when they were in Argyle. Adds that height dimension also for the Panthers.
It will be Colleyville Heritage in the whites, Argyle in the black jerseys tonight. Red piping white numbers. Crowd still starting to filter in here. The JV boys game wrapping up a little bit late, so this game's going to tip off about 10-11 minutes late here at 5:55, maybe 56. Boys game to follow, scheduled for 7:15. You can already bet that will be rolled back a little bit, maybe closer to 7:30 as well. Our officials tonight: John Woods, the crew chief, Brian Curtis, and Brian Battaglia, the other two members of a 3-man officiating crew. And we are ready to roll on the 2024 debut of Tuesday Night Hoops. It'll be Landry Murphy for the Argyle Lady Eagles, Sully Davis to jump it up at the center circle for Colleyville Heritage. Colleyville Heritage with the opening possession, and of course the ball will begin in the hands of Journey Hampton. Down the left side of the lane, the kick in the corner to Brooklyn Cooper. Back up top now for Hampton. She will dribble into three-point looks on the regular and buries the triple right out of the gates.
And one of those signs, man, telltale sign you got a shooter on your hands, is when they don't even think about the shot. As you saw Journey Hampton right there on the three-point line, in space, knocking down the three to get things started.
But the answer right back from Reese Crabtree on the left wing as Argyle was able to deal with the Colleyville Heritage press.
Yeah, Reese Crabtree, another one of those role players, Mike, for the Lady Eagles that make sure that, look, you got to keep your eyes on all starting five, especially with the absence of Gabby Campbell, and Crabtree will fill in nicely.
Colleyville Heritage, one of the two primary challengers, as we outlined, to Argyle within district, them and Denton Ryan. It's a young but experienced group. They've got an interesting mix of youth and experience. A couple of sophomores, including Hampton, that make a big impact on the basketball court, but they do have some seniors that have been key pieces for a while. Nice look inside. Sully Davis for the deuce.
And Mike, that's what I was talking to you about in the open, about Journey Hampton and her ability, because she's the primary scorer, everyone keeps their eyes on her, and she's able to find Sully Davis lurking in the paint for an easy two.
Millington with it, gives off for Crabtree. She'll fire a 12-footer and miss long. Offensive board for Bacon. Loose ball underneath, a jump ball will keep it on this end. Extra possessions for Argyle was one of the big things Courtney Lee talked about was an issue the first time these two teams played.
But it's just all hustle right there from Landry Murphy, making sure that she gets her hands on the ball and battle, challenging and getting the jump ball and possession staying on this end, as you stated, Mike, for the Eagles.
The Argyle Eagles, one of the preeminent programs in North Texas. State champions in 2006, 2012. Turnover here. We'll give it back to Colleyville Heritage. Then five straight, from 15 to 2019. Chance Westmoreland taking over for the last two of those 5 in a row, replacing his mentor Skip Townsend as the head coach here at Argyle. The two coached together at Brock back in the first decade of the 2000s. Corner pump fake. Leads to a 12-footer, misses short off the hands of Madeline Williams. Argyle will look to run.
Yeah, and Crabtree had something to do with that miss, just staying in front of the shooter and getting her hands up.
Davis with the rebound here. Argyle made the jump to 5A a year ago, struggled to make that jump, lost in the second round of the playoffs to Northwest in overtime. Earliest they had gone out in 15 years, a program that is used to being in San Antonio. This year, a significant bounce back. Ripped away down on the baseline. Nice hands by Samantha Bacon. She's going to start the run out here for Hafer in transition. Baseline, 14-footer is blocked. Samari Stevenson with the swat.
And the sophomore trailing, just a smart play, making sure no easy shots come from that baseline. Good job by the sophomore, number 22, Samari Stevens.
One of the things Chance Westmoreland talked about that he feels like has been a difference for his team this year, they've been able to deal with the physicality of 5A basketball better. As a result, here they stand right back where they're used to being in the top 5 in the state rankings.
Hey, everyone doesn't make the adjustment like they do in football, up those classes. Like some of the other sports like basketball, they take a hit, but they found a way to adjust, and that's been to the great coaching from Chance Westmoreland.
Good defense here from Colleyville Heritage, and it leads to a steal. Madeline Williams there to intercept the pass. Colleyville Heritage, meanwhile, 6 wins in their last 7 games to jump out to this 7-2 start in district play. Again, year 2 under Courtney Lee. And Courtney Lee will call timeout here. She led Heritage to a 19-15 season her first year out. Went 4 rounds deep in the playoffs, though, ultimately losing to a Lubbock Cooper team that made it all the way to the state semifinals. So really good signs out of the gates for Courtney Lee. And now here they are trying to build on it, already 17-9, getting looking to be very likely to have a 20-win season in year 2.
And I like what Coach Lee is doing, mixing in that young talent with the seniors, those upperclassmen. You're always in a situation where you're always keeping them in basically your horses there in the stable for the future. And that's exactly what I see Colleyville Heritage doing right now. You talk about Journey Hampton. She's just a sophomore. So you're going to talk about embarrassment of riches, and you're going to have that kind of talent around this program for the next 3 years.
Quote unquote, without Journey Hampton, we don't win a lot of our basketball games. So Courtney Lee said to us earlier this week, she's a fantastic talent as just a sophomore. But a turnover here in the front court. Even before the steal, they say it's going to be over and back against Colleyville Heritage, and a sideline inbound.
And I think for the Lady Eagles, they understand that their attention needs to be around number 12. And so they're still playing a zone, but they are extending that zone out a little bit further to make sure that they can get pressure on the perimeter against Hampton.
Hafer with the pump fake, able to get a paint touch. Millington inside, and the bucket will go for Bacon, her first points of the day.
And I just love the way that they just rotated that basketball to find Bacon in the paint. That's great vision and ability to get that ball inside from Landry Murphy.
Backdoor cut, but nobody home. Handoff. Hampton, fade away, book it.
Oh my goodness. Talk about the way that wrist pops on every shot. It looks good as soon as it comes off of her hand.
And now a steal here, good hands, the rip by Brooklyn Cooper. At the elbow, down the lane, the lefty floater won't go for Stevenson. Quickly up ahead. Hafer can't finish. Gets it back though. Couple pump fakes to get into the lane for Millington. Now baseline, Hafer draws the foul.
Well, that's unselfish basketball, first of all. They're trying to find the open shot, getting down in close to get the easy bucket. I love the way that they are sharing right now, and also getting the fouls inside and finding a way to get to the charity stripe.
Hafer misses the first free throw. Let us know if you're watching on the WFAA YouTube channel. Jump into that live chat and let us know where you're tuning in from tonight, or if you've got a favorite player on either one of these two teams. An 0 for 2 trip at the free throw line there for Hafer. Keeps it 7-5, and here comes Journey Hampton. Nice look underneath. Lefty layup won't go for Stevenson. Loose ball ripped down by Millington.
Oh, and I tell you, Stevenson's got to reward Hampton for her vision and ability to find her in the right spot on the floor.
Hafer's jumper won't go, but another second chance opportunity here for Argyle. That goes begging.
Boy, Landry Murphy has just been a terror around the board. Not able to get that shot back up, but her ability to get the rebound right now is plaguing the Panthers.
Hampton hounded, able to get away to the baseline. The floater will go.
Man, how about that move right there for Journey Hampton? The crossover left to right and the floater on the baseline. I think she's hot already.
We said it earlier, Sully Davis is the best athlete on the floor. Journey Hampton's the best basketball player on the floor.
Yes.
That much has been laid bare here in this opening quarter. She's got 7 of Heritage's 9 points.
And a lot of times, Mike, when you have an athlete on the floor like Journey Hampton, you got to find a way to challenge her defensively. Make her work on both sides of the court.
Nice move there by Landry Murphy.
I was talking about Landry Murphy and just her ability to get rebounds, but also look at her right there, finding her own shot from the box.
Final minute of this opening quarter. They get it on the right wing for Williams, tipped away. It's Murphy again. She has been a pest in this opening quarter, and she draws a foul.
Yes, she has. It bigger than just being on the boards. Like I said, we needed all hands on deck, especially with the missing Gabby Campbell. And you can see right now, Landry Murphy has taken up the helm right now. She is making sure her presence is felt down low. They better find an answer for her. She's taking this game over.
Chance Westmoreland said earlier this week she's really come into her own. In fact, had 20 points last time out. Nearly 2 more. Offensive rebound, though. The block underneath by Cooper. And a jump ball will give it to the Panthers.
That's a good job by Brooklyn, not leaving her feet and getting a foul, just putting her hands up and getting all ball.
Elle Gardner into the game for the first time tonight. Gives off to Hampton here down the lane. High off the glass, draws the foul.
Oh, man. And I'm loving this journey because she is getting in the lane. And really, there's nothing they can do about her from just not allowing her to get to her spots. She has the dribble, drive. She can stop, pop. She does it all. I mean, it doesn't even have to put the ball on the floor to get her shot up, and I love that.
Pure stroke at the free throw line as well. No big surprise. A 2-for-2 trip. She has 9 of their 11 points here in this opening quarter. Nearly a steal. Tied up with 6.6 to play. It's going to stay on this end with the possession arrow. But more good defense from Colleyville Heritage in this first quarter.
And what you want is for Maupin to be able to just at least threaten Journey Hampton with her dribble. Like I said before, you said she has 9 of the 11 points, so she's having her way offensively. You got to make her work defensively.
Into Hafer, 4 seconds left. Hafer looks at the clock, drives the baseline, has it blocked. A fitting end to the period for the Colleyville Heritage defense. They did work in that period, as did Journey Hampton. 9 points in the first quarter alone. And Colleyville Heritage leads by 4 after 1 here on Tuesday Night Hoops.
North Texas, it's a hot one today. If you're planning on taking the pumps out, make sure to protect their paws. That asphalt is going to be hot.
Thanks, Delkin. Thanks, Delkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
It's a hot one today. If you're planning on taking the pumps out, make sure to protect their paws. That asphalt is going to be hot.
Thanks, Delkin. Thanks, Delkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
To give you a third camera. As we welcome you back here in Colleyville. 11-7 the advantage for the Panthers after 1 period. Sully Davis nearly had it taken away, but they bring it back up top here for Hampton. And she'll set the offense here in this opening minute of the second quarter.
And Mike, I take back what I said about making Journey Hampton work defensively. She got a block shot to end the first quarter, so there goes that theory.
Left wing 3 on the way, misses short. Off the hands of Janaea Armstrong just into the game. Weaving is Hafer. Murphy, the freshman, in the corner. Reese Crabtree able to get it inside for Bacon. Turnaround jumper high off the glass is good.
Yeah, it doesn't get any easier than that for Samantha Bacon. Finding her spot, working right down and just kissing it right off the top of the glass.
Donald Millington in the YouTube comments says that they're watching from Monticello, Indiana. We appreciate you being with us tonight. I imagine some relation to Mallory Millington, the senior starting forward for the Argyle Lady Eagles. Madeline Williams in the YouTube comments as well, cheering on Madeline Williams. I imagine a family member of Madeline, of course, maybe using her YouTube account to tune in tonight. Loose ball into the backcourt here, chased down by Elle Gardner. Knocked out of bounds by Landry Murphy. I beg your pardon, it's Hafer. And Argyle's defense again creating some havoc here, and the Eagles are going to steal a possession.
And what they're doing is they are extending that zone. Talked about that earlier, the way that they extend that zone press up top to not make life easy for Journey Hampton and this Panthers offense to just spread it around.
Millington for three, off to the right side. Knocked out of bounds, nicely done on the baseline by Samantha Bacon to bounce it off of a Panther.
And just continuing to hustle, even after missed shots on this end for the Eagles.
Top of the key, three-pointer on the way for Crabtree. Rattles in and out. Another offensive rebound for the Lady Eagles. Hampton nearly stole it away and drew a foul in the process on Bacon.
Well, that was a good shot, though, by Reese Crabtree. She set up for it perfectly. Looked like it went halfway down and bounced out. But give the credit where it's due to Journey Hampton for just staying active on the baseline.
Hampton off to Stevenson, now gets it back top of the key. Panthers yet to score here in this second quarter. Hampton trying to change that, misses long on the three, and here comes Argyle on the run out. Up ahead for Wrigley Green. Corner three on the way for Crabtree, no. Another rebound underneath. Mallory Millington doing some work on the low block.
And you see them using that lift down low are the Lady Eagles. Any of those balls that come off the backboard, they are set in position. And I like Courtney Lee making the adjustment, also bringing Sully Davis back in, and she see the rebound the rebounding advantage going the way of the Eagles.
A long possession here for Argyle, as Heritage has been able to keep them on the perimeter. Handoff for Hafer into the corner. Finally probing, had to angle herself around the defender to get the shot off and couldn't get it high enough. Now Hampton on the run out. Journey Hampton blowing by everybody for the lay-in.
And that's the only way to describe it, and being set up right there from Sully Davis on the rebound, finding Journey Hampton already in transition on the break. That's great teamwork.
Journey Hampton with 11 now on the night. Crabtree off a screen. Chance Westmoreland calls timeout here. Heckma to talk things over. Midway point of this second quarter, and it seems like there's some stagnation to this Argyle offense right now.
Well, I think they're thinking too much, and you saw him trying to run off the screen. Murphy had set the screen perfectly on the other side for Haffer. And again, I think offensively that the points generate, the way that they're generating points has been a little bit difficult. So I'm sure for Coach Westmoreland, he's going to come out of this timeout with a design play to get his shooters involved.
Yeah. Argyle only 3 losses on the year, 27-3 on the season, and he said it was when they played in the Mavs tournament back in November that he really felt like he saw the potential of his team come to fruition. So they beat Lubbock Cooper by 4, a defending state champ, beat Frisco Liberty, a defending state champ, by 18, and then ultimately lost to a 6A top 10 team in South Grand Prairie in the final of that tournament. He said coming out of that weekend, he really felt like, all right, we may have something here. And here they are, ranked 5th in the state in 5A. Knocked out of bounds on the baseline. Another Panther takeaway.
And going back to their first contest, it was a close game.
Hampton in the corner. It has been all Journey Hampton tonight. She does it herself down the lane, can't finish. Rebound though for Davis on the putback.
And that's what a move right there by Journey Hampton to split the defenders, but even better job by Sully Davis playing the cleanup woman off the glass.
And now another steal here by the Panthers. Up ahead, the foul drawn by Hampton. Colleyville Heritage with this 15-9 lead, 11 points from Journey Hampton, 4 points from Sully Davis, and that's it.
You see the impact that she has. Again, she puts so much pressure on your zone, and her ability just to create her own shot, get inside, I mean, she just completely collapses the zone defense.
Free throw falls for Journey Hampton. The 5'7" sophomore averages 16 a game. She's already got a dozen.
Yeah, what a
Free
crowd.
throw goes, and an Argyle parent counting out how long she was at the free throw line. What's funny is he only got to 8-1000. If he knew the rules, he'd know she's well within the time frame that she's allowed. Final 3 minutes of this second quarter. Argyle struggling to find points. Another one goes begging. Just 2 points here in the opening 5.5 minutes of this quarter, and now a foul at midcourt.
And Mike, that's the difference on the other end defensively for Colleyville Heritage. When Sully Davis comes in, her ability to maximize her athleticism at 6'2", she gets in that paint. It's really hard to rebound in and around her.
They get with her with great position underneath, and she finishes, and it's a 10-point lead for Colleyville Heritage. Sully Davis with 6 on the night. The volleyball superstar able to box out and get herself positioned down low, and it's 19-9 Heritage. And the Panthers have been even more impressive on this end of the floor.
Yeah, it's something that Coach Lee said in one of those breaks, and she got the attention of her team. That's a great block right there from Samari Stevenson.
Stevenson, another sophomore who makes an impact for this Panthers team, getting up high to block the shot and keep Argyle in single digits as we wind down this second quarter. Pump fake, gets her free. Missed way long, though, off the hands of Brooklyn Cooper. Offensive rebound, pulled down, but then thrown away, and a foul on the Panthers.
Well, that's an offensive possession right there for the Panthers. Looked like they had plenty of opportunity, just missed it on some miscues, passing the ball. And that shot that went wide left didn't do them any favors either.
Argyle has got to find some offense, though. What can they do, especially missing, obviously, Gabby Campbell? How do they get the offense rolling?
Find a way to get down low. I mean, work this thing from inside out, and getting fouls like that don't hurt your calls either. So just staying aggressive. I think the answer earlier was Samantha Bacon down on the post. Her ability to get those easy shots, but that's been nullified as soon as they brought Sully Davis into the game.
Bacon got aggressive with the basketball there, going straight to the hoop. She sinks the free throw. She's got 5 now on the night. Offensive rebound off the free throw miss.
And those kind of rebounds drive a coach crazy, because they feel like, man, all you have to do is box out and secure the miss.
Down the lane, open 12-footer will go.
There you go.
Hafer's on the board.
Kennedy Hafer right there, finding an easy shot, working it inside, not shooting a three-pointer, but shooting a high percentage shot inside.
Final minute of this opening half. 19-12, Heritage with the lead. They've led by as much as 10. 13 of those 19 points coming courtesy of Journey Hampton, and she draws another foul.
But just the patience right there from Journey Hampton, working her way, Mike, through the screen that was set for her by Suley Davis, and then the foul coming. Like I said, it's just her ability to continuously create and put pressure on this Eagles defense.
So Hampton back to the free throw line for the third time tonight. Her first free throw miss. She was 2 for 2 on each of the first 2 trips. Again, this is game 1 of our doubleheader tonight here on WFAA Plus. Argyle and Colleyville Heritage boys coming up after this. An 0 for 2 trip there from Journey Hampton's going to keep it 19-12, and Argyle with a chance here to peel this lead down even further before halftime. Knocked away. Hampton nearly got the steal. Dribbled into the backcourt, though, and that will be over and back as Hafer lost it.
A little get back right there from Journey Hampton for missing those 2 free throws. It's on her mind. She's like, look, I got to do something. And she is hassling them out on the perimeter and getting the over and back.
So with 20 seconds, Hampton goes to work down the lane. Drew the foul, and she finishes.
And that is the same move for Journey Hampton with the kiss off the glass. How sweet is that?
High class stuff from Journey Hampton, just a sophomore. We mentioned earlier, averages 16 points per game on the season. She's got 15 right now.
Yeah, she's having an issue at the line. She's got to get that corrected. Been a great free throw shooter. Sometimes you could go through a slump.
It gets knocked out of bounds, though, by Argyle, so they're going to get one last possession here in the half. 16 seconds left. Stevenson on the block. Won't go. Rebound ripped down by Millington. 10 seconds left in the half. Trying to get loose. Gets it ahead for Hafer. Down to 5 seconds left. Hafer in the corner. The 3 on the way. Rattles home for Reese Crabtree. A big bucket right before the buzzer to cut the lead down to 6.
Boy, they needed that shot from Crabtree, and it came right as the half approaches. Hey, a lot of things have gone wrong for the Lady Eagles in that first half, but they've got to feel good about that momentum-stealing shot in the first half.
Hafer with her second triple of this first half. She opened the scoring tonight for Argyle. She closes out the first half scoring as well. Her 6 points, clutch to keep Argyle in touch in this basketball game.
No, it's great. And I think you asked me earlier, what do they have to do to get back in? Because at one point they were in single digits, and it looked as though the Panthers were running away with it. They just stayed steadfast in their offense and finding those easy shots. Balls come off the rim, they want to get an easy putback, drawing up plays for Samantha Bacon to be able to get those shots in the paint, but also rebounding well. Hafer also rebounding well, but Crabtree knocking down shots.
The story of the first half, though, Colleyville Heritage sophomore Journey Hampton, 15 of her team's 21 points, and the Panthers lead it by 6 at halftime, 21-15 on Tuesday Night Hoops.
Thanks, Delkus.
Thanks, Delkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
WFAA has a legacy of changing the system.
Most recently, we did a story on ankle monitors and how they don't work. and how criminals are committing crimes with ankle monitors. And yeah, there's legislative change coming.
Our 2-year investigation caught the attention of state representatives. Now, it's a crime to cut off ankle monitors.
I want people to see things that we need to hold people accountable for.
Right now in Terrell and in Dallas, your heat index is 107. Everyone in McKinney is dead. It's hot in McKinney. We'll fix that probably.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
WFAA Sports. To us, it's about so much more than a highlight, wins or losses. It's the heart that makes up the game. The triumph of human spirit, its agony and victory, diehards and day ones. It can divide or unify communities. We give you the stats, but inspire you with the stories, the unpredictable, unforgettable, and incomparable. We bring it to you all because sports lives in all of us.
Discover WFAA Plus, a live 24-hour stream of WFAA news and exclusive digital content, all completely free. Now available on Apple TV, Roku, and Fire TV. Download WFAA Plus today.
Back in Colleyville, as you see, the boys' team's getting warm. Their game set to tip off at 7:15. Will be a little later than that, with this game getting pushed back about 10 minutes, but we will bring you the boys matchup as well as the 10th-ranked Argyle Eagles boys team visits Colleyville Heritage. But at halftime of the girls' game, we welcome you back courtside. Mike Leslie, Heckma Harris sitting here with you. 21-15 the halftime score. 15 points in the first half from Journey Hampton. Heckma, she was magnificent.
Yo, unstoppable, Mike. I mean, she's finding ways to create her own shot, but also dribble driving. They're finding ways to get her in space when she has an opportunity just to create her own shot, but also creating for others. Her and Sully Davis, when they play the two-man game, it's really hard to stop them. Sully Davis looking for her every time in transition on the break when she gets one of those long defensive rebounds. But I tell you what, when you find her right there, that's when she's at her best, kissing it off the glass, and one for Journey Hampton.
15 points for her. You mentioned the two-man game, the two-woman game, whatever you want to say. Sully Davis has the other 6. That's all of their points here in this first half. 15 for Hampton, 6 for Sully Davis, the volleyball superstar. That's their scoring tonight. Meanwhile, for Argyle, 6 points on the night from Reese Crabtree, 5 from Samantha Bacon. They had some real struggles finding the offense for the opening 5.5, 6 minutes of the second quarter,
yes,
but a couple of big buckets late, keeping them in touch and giving them a chance to make a comeback here in the third quarter.
What you have to do is you just have to start playing smart basketball. You're putting so much energy on the defensive end that when you get on offense, your legs are almost dead. They are having to do everything that they possibly can to kind of corral Journey Hampton and leaving their offense out there. So what happens is Samantha Bacon, well, basically Coach Westmoreland is starting to draw up those plays for her out of the timeout. She got a shot right there in the paint that she drained, kind of got the offense going again, and to end that first half with Reese Crabtree knocking down a 3.
Huge bucket to tighten that gap and make this feel a little more possible, frankly, for Argyle, but they do need to find a little bit more offense. Tuesday night hoops at halftime of game number 1 of our doubleheader. When we return, the third quarter of Argyle and Colleyville Heritage.
Thanks, Delkus.
Thanks, Delkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
WFAA has a legacy of changing the system.
Most recently, we did a story on ankle monitors and how they don't work, and how criminals are committing crimes with ankle monitors. And yeah, there's legislative change coming.
Our 2-year investigation caught the attention of state representatives. Now, it's a crime to cut off ankle monitors.
I want people to see things that we need to hold people accountable for.
Right now in Terrell and in Dallas, your heat index is 107. Everyone in McKinney is dead. It's hot in McKinney. We'll fix that probably.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delcus.
WFAA Sports. To us, it's about so much more than a highlight, wins or losses. It's the heart that makes up the game. The triumph of human spirit, its agony and victory, diehards and day ones. It can divide or unify communities. We give you the stats, but inspire you with the stories, the unpredictable, unforgettable, and incomparable. We bring it to you all because sports lives in all of us.
Discover WFAA Plus, a live 24-hour stream of WFAA news and exclusive digital content, all completely free. Now available on Apple TV, Roku, and Fire TV. Download WFAA Plus today.
Back inside the gymnasium here at Colleyville Heritage High School, the homestanding Lady Panthers with a 21-15 lead on the number 5 team in the state rankings, the Argyle Eagles. Argyle playing without all-state performer Gabby Campbell tonight, out sick for the next couple of weeks for the Lady Eagles. We've seen a couple of different iterations of what Argyle is trying to do under their head coach Chance Westmoreland given that absence, and some things are starting to really pop for them, especially late in that second quarter.
Yeah, and you could tell, though, Mike, her absence really is affecting the rhythm on offense. She's one of those shooters that they're used to being. When they get into a situation like this, when they have another shooter on the other side that's getting hot, they're used to going to Campbell for her to get them off the hook. They're going to have to play tougher together here in this second half.
Crabtree had the 6 in the first half to lead the way, fires a 3 to start the second half that misses off the front iron. And it'll be Colleyville Heritage basketball. Again, 15 in the first half for Journey Hampton, 6 more for Sully Davis. Their head coach Courtney Lee told us earlier this week she really admires the chemistry of her unit, the way that they play for each other, the way that they support one another. And this is a moment where at home against a top 5 team in the state, you've got an opportunity to do something special. They got to build on it here.
Yeah, just got to continue to play tough defense, and that's a great job right there from Journey Hampton, cutting them off at half court and allowing them to get set up in their offense. But defensively, I think the Panthers have to turn up the heat a little bit as well.
Bacon turns down the lane. Nice move. Lead is down to 4.
And Courtney Lee making some defensive adjustments, going out of the zone, going now more with a little bit of man. And you saw how easy that was for Samantha Bacon to get down into the lane and get her shot off.
Picking them up beyond midcourt here. Hampton able to split the defense, gets in the lane high off the glass, but it won't go. Rebound chased down in the corner by Hafer. Another stop for Argyle and a chance to cut this down to a 1-score game. Hafer tipped from behind. Hampton with the steal.
Oh my goodness. Journey Hampton is like a gnat. She just won't get out of your face. How about that? Wait a minute.
Sully Davis tried to go alley-oop with that one. Dipsy-do underneath. Wouldn't quite go for. Another steal by Hampton in transition.
She does it all. Not only offensively, but defensively with the hands.
Draws another foul here as she hits the deck on the baseline.
Boy, that's a tough fall right there. Good to see Journey Hampton up. Doesn't look like she's going to need any assistance or have to come out of the game, but until this Lady Eagle squad is making sure they get some hard fouls on the other side on Journey Hampton.
Baseline inbound off the foul. Hampton step back 3. Another foul. Courtney Lee fired up for her player on the sideline, and Hampton's headed to the free throw line for 3.
I tell you, and it's one of those things when you have a player on your team like Journey Hampton, you kind of start to become a witness, and you're just standing there waiting on her to knock the shots down. She's going to need some help from her other players to get some points up there on the board, because right now it's just her. It's the Hampton and Davis show.
3 free throws forthcoming here for Journey Hampton, who is now on her season average of 16 points per game. We haven't played 2 minutes of the third quarter. They continue to count how long Journey Hampton is at the free throw line.
I don't think they know the rules.
And they still haven't gotten to the number of seconds that would be a problem.
That's all right.
I don't think they know the rules.
Hey, there's a little bit of a rivalry going on here, whether you know it, like it or not. These two schools, they recognize how close this whole thing is, and even these free throws, the fans are in on it. Man, this is a lively atmosphere for some basketball. Can't wait for the next game.
Three-point answer from Wrigley Green, the freshman.
And I tell you what, Chance Westmoreland has just got to find some offense, and he goes all the way deep into the bench to get his freshman to get a three-point shot up.
Trying to answer right back, but missing short is Brooklyn Cooper. A 4-point game here, mid-third quarter. Quickly up floor, Hafer. Just not enough on it off the glass.
But
after she made a nice move.
Yeah, great move, though, by Hafer, splitting the defenders and getting down close. But they have got to do something about number 12. My goodness. Doesn't matter how you do it. If she gets that shot up, it is going to go down.
Journey Hampton is ready for prime time. 21 on the night. She buries the triple, and the lead is back to 7. She has been terrific from the word go.
Yeah, she has not hesitated at all. I mean, you could tell when a player has the green light to shoot, they're not thinking about it. They're getting the shots up in rhythm. And that's one of the things that I love about watching or witnessing Journey Hampton and what she's doing. I mean, she is going up immediately, but also wreaking havoc on defense. And she has been stealing this basketball, getting rebounds and trying to get other players involved, not named Davis.
That has been a challenge. It is still just the two of them that have scored tonight for Colleyville Heritage, but at least so far it has been more than enough. Argyle again needs to find an answer. They've trailed by as much as 10 in this basketball game. They had it down as little as 4 just a moment ago. Right wing 3 on the way for Crabtree, misses short.
Yeah, that shot felt good for Reese. Just hits the side of the iron. Did not get enough lift on that shot to get it to go down.
One of the things Courtney Lee did say to us earlier this week is, hey, we need to be able to score tonight. That has not been an issue for Hampton, but beyond that, that has been a challenge. Again, she finds Davis underneath. That one won't go. Rebound pulled down by Crabtree, the junior.
Yeah, Samari Stevens is the other player that I'm looking to say, look, we need some of your offense right now. It's got to happen.
Up ahead for Hampton, leaking out. 2 more.
Hey, the system will do as well.
Bacon turns and faces down the lane. Over Davis, finishes.
And that's a good, strong move by Samantha Bacon that starts that move from the free throw line, working her way down to that left box.
Samantha Bacon leads the way for Argyle with 9. Long three-pointer from Cooper, misses beyond the iron. Crabtree, nice look underneath. Running the floor is Bacon.
And that's 2 in a row for Samantha Bacon. But I tell you what, when you have the big running the floor like Bacon is right there, boy, that's a great job.
Wow. They say timeout called by White before that ball was thrown away.
Ooh, that was close.
It was very, very close.
Whoa.
The steal made by Argyle, but evidently after the timeout was called by Courtney Lee, so possession will stay with Colleyville Heritage.
And I will say this, the Argyle faithful are giving the referees an earful here in Colleyville.
I will say this, Ryan Battaglia was the official who made the call, and there was zero hesitation. He was completely definitive. The timeout was called in advance. There was no equivocation in the call. That's all you can ask for.
That's all you can ask for. But I tell you what, that still doesn't take away from how close that call was. So.
No, nor does it make the Argyle faithful feel any better about it.
Especially the guy back here that's counting down the free throws. He's all over it right now.
I really want somebody to tell me, guys, they get 10 seconds. It's okay. She's within the time frame. Not to mention, it's one of the most loosely applied rules in the game of basketball.
Hey, Mike, I don't think he cares. I really don't.
You're probably right. Hampton with it out of the timeout. Taken away on the baseline. Running the floor is Crabtree, lost her balance and gave it right back. Elle Gardner with the steal. Knocked out of bounds, and still on the deck on the far side is Argyle's Reese Crabtree. She took a hard spill.
Yeah, she took a hard spill, but I tell you what, she got her legs bent underneath her. And gosh, I hope she's okay.
It was just kind of awkward the way that she tried to gear down. Like you're saying, everything kind of got extended in the wrong direction. Chance Westmoreland over there to check on her as well, the Argyle head coach. As they work on her left knee.
It's a real awkward angle that she went down in, and pretty much they had 4 guys out running the lane. They're all trying to get down on this end offensively. Man, but Reese Crabtree, that is going to be a tough loss for this Argyle Eagles squad, because she has been really one of the catalysts to getting them back in this game and not putting any pressure on that left leg, which isn't a good sign.
And no weight at all on that left leg. Obviously no way to know the severity of what she's dealing with right now. Certainly don't want to speculate in that regard, but you just hope that it's not serious.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. And again, she is one of the reasons we talk about her at the end of that first half, knocking down that important three-pointer that kind of stole some of that momentum going into halftime. She's also been a part of the difference on defense as well, playing really tough perimeter defense out, trying to play tough perimeter defense out on Journey Hampton and clogging those passing lanes. Again, that's going to be a big miss right there for Coach Westmoreland, who's already missing one of his best players.
Reese Crabtree, the younger sister of Ashlyn Crabtree, that was a 3-year starter here at Argyle. Their mom, now Kim Crabtree, the once Kim Loomis, won a state championship at Cleburne, played at UT, and is in the Texas Basketball Hall of Fame. That is a family full of hoopers. Just hope that Reese Crabtree is going to be okay as they continue to work on her on the Argyle bench. Under 3 minutes to play here in this third quarter. Hampton with it, gives off for Elle Gardner. Gardner looking for somewhere to go with it as the defense collapsed on her. Hampton now drives baseline. Jumper on the way, misses short.
Well, they are not getting any offense from any other players. And at some point, that's going to plague you, especially if these other players stop hitting shots. You make these situations so hard when you can't get anyone else involved.
Nice find in the middle, and Hafer finishes the lead down to 3. It is a one-possession game for the first time since very early on in the second quarter. And Courtney Lee wants another timeout. Heckma, what have you seen from Argyle? How have they been able to make this comeback?
You know, and what they've basically done is just, you know, been Johnny on the spot for a lot of those rebounds, but what they're doing also is running the floor a lot better. They're creating that spacing. They didn't have great spacing in that first half. A lot of players in the same area. When you start to create that spacing, that gives you more options to find the break. You started to see that with Crabtree knocking down shots, Samantha Bacon running the floor, knocking down shots, but also, look, Sully Davis and Hampton, they're slowing down on the scoring, so they're looking for some scoring to come from somewhere else.
A nice play there by Brooklyn Northeim, who had just recently checked into the game. She was the one who made the catch on the baseline, kept her composure, and found Hafer to be able to make that play. And here Argyle is all of a sudden down just 3. They've trailed by as much as 10 in this game, 19-9 in that second quarter.
That's why you want a player to be aggressive and go up to the hole, but didn't get a quality shot.
Davis had a second chance at it, still loose in the middle. A lot of contact, no whistle, out of the pile with it. Comes Wrigley Green, tipped out of bounds on the baseline. It'll stay on this end.
Lord, good job by Samari Stevenson. If she's not there, that's going to be an easy rebound. But right now, the Argyle Eagles just have to continue to play their game, Mike.
Bacon down the lane, working on Davis. Final 90 seconds of this third quarter. Bacon.
Well, that's an easy shot right there for Samantha Bacon. She doesn't miss it that often when she gets down close.
Hampton working hard. Lefty floater won't go. Loose ball underneath. Hampton somehow got it underneath. Stevenson can't get the layup to go.
Boy, do they need help from someone, and Stevenson at point-blank range, not able to get that shot to go down.
Wrigley Green, the freshman, can't get the floater. Hampton up ahead of the pack, and she lays it in.
It's good vision by Sully Davis, finding Journey Hampton trailing to play. She was a little hurt on that last possession, late to get down the floor.
Bacon draws the foul underneath.
As we get a about time yell from the crowd. It's been a tough go right now for the Lady Eagles.
Bacon misses the first. She leads the way for Argyle with 11 points on the day. Averages 10 on the year. Now sitting on a dozen.
Mike, the Panthers are going to need to get some offense from another player. It's got to happen for them.
Stevenson has had some opportunities, tipped away. The steal by Bacon. Up ahead for Hafer. Lefty layup, no. Bacon, the putback. Yeah. Lead down to 2.
And that's a good job by Samantha Bacon. Again, just in the right spot, ready for those rebounds, and look at them come out to defend.
They're not going to get a shot off. Hampton gave it up to Madeline Williams. Didn't get it back in time, and it's a 2-point game as we head to the fourth. Argyle has almost come all the way back. Can they do it in the fourth? Tuesday Night Hoops, back after this.
That's my...
WFAA Sports. To us, it's about so much more than a highlight, wins or losses. It's the heart that makes up the game. The triumph of human spirit, its agony and victory, diehards and day ones. It can divide or unify communities. We give you the stats, but inspire you with the stories, the unpredictable, unforgettable, and incomparable. We bring it to you all because sports lives in all of us.
Discover WFAA Plus, a live 24-hour stream of WFAA news and exclusive digital content, all completely free. Now available on Apple TV, Roku, and Fire TV. Download WFAA Plus today.
Samantha Bacon with 14 points on the night, 9 in the third quarter alone to help her team carve this lead down to 2. Heritage with the ball to start the fourth, leading at 31-29. Journey Hampton with 25 points on the night, looking for more. Travel called on Hampton. She was hoping it would have been a jump ball. Even if it was, possession would have gone to Argyle. The travel is the call. Argyle with a stop on the first possession of the fourth period.
And Hampton may have a point there, but like you said, possession would have gone to the Eagles either way. They better get someone on Samantha Bacon.
Bacon could have been called for a travel too. No whistle. The three-pointer misses. Davis lost her handle on the rebound, and it will stay Argyle possession. This game has not been tied since 5-5. Argyle has never led. They could right here, just off to the left from Wrigley Green.
And they get Kennedy Hafer with the foul on the baseline, and that's just Journey Hampton out-savvying her to get that rebound. Look, Journey is doing it all. She's finding ways to get down in the paint amongst the bigs and still pull down rebounds. I don't think she's gone out of this game. She's played every second of every quarter so far.
I believe you're right. I have not seen her off the floor one time tonight. Looking for points, 26 and 27. No. Rebound underneath. Davis gets another chance at it and finishes.
I tell you, Samari Stevens is just like, what do I got to do to get a bucket here? I'm as close as I can get, and I'm still not able to get one of these buckets to fall. The sophomore will learn how to get that to drop.
Bacon down the lane. Jump ball. Good hands underneath by Madeline Williams. It will stay on this end, but a good defensive play by the senior.
Quick hands.
Tough shot underneath, won't go. Fought for, another jump ball is coming. This time it's Panthers ball.
Well, they got it that is the right call. They are finding ways to get down and not get the foul, but also create the jump ball, and finally something goes right for the Panthers in that way.
Landry Murphy had a chance there, but couldn't quite finish. Hampton right back the other way. The putback won't go, but a foul drawn by Sully Davis.
And that's just good teamwork and understanding. If you're Sully Davis, you got a driving Hampton coming out with the left hand off the glass. It doesn't fall. She knows the angle of that shot. That's what good rebounders do. Study the angles of those shots. She goes right back up and gets fouled, and now getting to the charity stripe.
Free throw misses, too strong. Davis, we mentioned earlier, one of the best volleyball players in the country. So much so that she plays a lot of club volleyball too. Her schedule last Friday, 3 volleyball games down in Austin during the day on Friday, catch a flight back up here to North Texas, and play against Denton that night for Argyle. Off the rebound, a chance there for Hampton, missed long. Argyle hounded at midcourt was Mallory
Millington. And that's just great defense right there by Journey Hampton. You know, turning and running and pushing to make sure that that pass gets off.
Millington backing her way down in the corner, 3 on the way. Wrigley Green buries it. The lead is 1.
How big was that three-pointer? How big was that? They needed it. They have gone through some significant droughts at certain points. But boy, the unsung heroes, if they are able to pull off this victory tonight.
The freshman Wrigley Green with her second 3 of the half, and now Maupin with the steal. The layup goes, +1. Argyle with their first lead of the night.
And look at, that's all hustle right there by number 0, Brooke Maupin, the freshman, 5'5", just working her way through, down in the lane for the layup. I would say easy layup, but with the foul and 1 at the line.
Brooke Maupin, who averages less than a point per game, a backup point guard seeing more time tonight because of the injury to Gabby Campbell. Forget 0.6 points per game. How about an and 1 to give her team the lead for the first time tonight? Hampton looking for an answer. Has it tipped away. It'll stay on this end.
And I think defensively, I love the adjustment that Chance Westmoreland has made. You see him setting these half-court traps, trying to make life difficult for the Panthers to set up their offense. They've got to find the hot hand or find another contributor on offense.
Hampton says, I've got a hot hand, but that one misses long. Rebound pulled down, and here comes the freshman Green in transition. The layup goes, and the lead grows to 4. Time out, Courtney Lee. 37-33, Argyle with the lead. They trailed this game by 10. They now lead by 4.
They've taken advantage of every opportunity that the Panthers have given them. Look at this long rebound, and look at how fast they get out in transition. The entire Panthers team is still on the offensive end, and man, no one back to play defense, at least to deter that shot.
So now if you're Courtney Lee, what is the message right now? How do you stop this Argyle run, at present an 8-0 run to take the lead?
Look, what you have to
what do you do?
What you have to do is you got to ride the hot hand of Journey Hampton. You got to sit her down and tell her, look, we got to ride you here. We're not getting anything from anyone else. You're telling your other players like Samari Stevenson, like, come on, we've got to get you to get some buckets because you're playing down low in the post. We've got to try and slow this thing down because right now the Lady Eagles are just outflanking them, and quite honestly, they're just getting down the court faster.
It will be Lady Panther possession out of the timeout. Journey Hampton with 25, but yet to score here in this 4th period. Her team trails for the first time tonight. Lefty dribble, gives it off. Williams for 3, misses long. Rebound tipped and fought for, but it's going to be an over-the-back foul on Stevenson.
And you saw right out of the timeout, Courtney Lee trying to create a play to get a 3-pointer. Madeline Williams with the shot. It goes over the rim. They've got to continue to try and feed some other players with 4 minutes left here in this game.
Maupin in the corner, double team. Hampton hounding her, able to get it off for Wrigley Green. Spinning with it is Murphy. 3 freshmen on the floor right now for Argyle, the number 5 team in the state. 3 seconds in the lane, and a turnover by the Eagles.
And that's just great defense right there from the Panthers. They were shutting down those passing lanes, but even better defense from Samari Stevenson, who I've been imploring to get active on the offensive end, but her defense really good right there on that possession.
Midway point of quarter number 4. In the corner, trapped. Stevenson just has to throw it away right into the hands of Murphy. Jump ball, and it will be Argyle possession.
Again, another great adjustment by Chance Westmoreland, trapping in those corners, not allowing for this team to try and get anything easy.
2 of the top 3 teams in District 7 5A this year coming right down to the wire here on the season debut of Tuesday Night Hoops. Millington, the senior, had it ripped away. Great hands by Madeline Williams. Hampton in transition. Cross court. Elle Gardner with the pump fake. 18-footer, misses way long. Rebound though. The putback for Samari Stevenson.
Samari, when you go back and listen to this video, you will hear me saying, Samari, you got to hit one of these shots, and you finally did.
Stevenson, who averages 9 a game with her first bucket of the night, and she picked a great time for it. Lead down to 2. Gardner back to Hampton. One-on-one with the freshman Brooke Maupin. The sophomore Hampton down the lane draws the foul.
And bigger than that, Mike, drawing the contact to get to the line. That is just Journey Hampton saying, look, I'm going to put these guys on my back like a backpack and lead us to victory. 2:49 left in the fourth.
Any lead they've had tonight, and again, it's been as big as 10, has been on the strength of the work Journey Hampton has done tonight. But they need two free throws from her right here to tie the game. She's got the first.
And I know for Coach Courtney Lee, she's going to come back to this tape and she's going to say, look, it all comes down to us making our free throws as well. Think about those 3 free throws that Journey Hampton missed at the first half. Those might come back to plague them.
2 for 2, tie game, 37 apiece. 27 points tonight for Journey Hampton. Pressure on Wrigley Green. She's able to get through it. Hafer, the junior.
And Courtney Lee giving Westmoreland a taste of his own medicine by trapping.
2.5 to play in a tie game here in Colleyville. Underneath, the lefty layup will go for Bacon.
And that's just good vision right there by number 22, Landry Murphy, trusting that pass underneath to Samantha Bacon.
Bacon with 16 on the night to lead the way for Argyle, and they've got the edge once again. Gardner gives for Hampton in the corner for 3, and the lead! Hampton with 30.
Boy, did they need that shot.
Trapped again. Jump ball. Panther possession.
Coach Courtney Lee making the adjustments, but again, first and foremost, getting that shot off by Journey Hampton, but defensively, that's where the difference was made when they recognized that, look, they needed to set a trap of their own. That half-court press worked to perfection for them to steal that possession back.
And now, all of a sudden, Heritage with the lead and the leather, and a chance to kill some clock here as we tick under 100 seconds to play. For the uninitiated, no shot clock in Texas high school basketball, so they can kill a good chunk of clock here. Handoff for Hampton. Crossover, step back, long 2. They say it's a 3. No, correction from the far side official. It's a 2. It's a 2, but it's a 3-point lead for Heritage.
Let's talk about ice water in her veins, and that's Journey Hampton with the crossover. Here at Colleyville, Heritage, they count that as a 2. Man, just on GP, that should have been a 3. God, what a shot, but what a move.
Good work from John Woods, our crew chief, and Brian Battaglia. It was Woods that was closer to it. Battaglia had the better angle and saw that her foot was in front of the line. A 2 instead of a 3. It is 42-29, Heritage with the lead, but that's an important point because the lead remains just the 1 possession with $1:17 to play.
No, but a great shot, though. And at a time where when you went into that timeout, we're looking for other players to get involved, and you know Journey Hampton is the hot hand. She's got to be tired as all heck. She's scoring all of their points literally in this game.
32 of their 42. 8 for Sully Davis, the 2 huge points from Samari Stevenson that helped begin really this run. It was 37-33 Argyle. Since then, a 9-2 Colleyville Heritage run as these two teams have lobbed haymakers back and forth in this fourth quarter. Argyle started this fourth quarter after giving up 1 bucket to Heritage to start the period, 33-29. Then they go on an 8-0 run to lead 37-33 before this 9-2 Heritage run to answer right back. Now if you're Chance Westmoreland, Hekma, how do you find the return, the return haymaker, if you will?
Samantha Bacon. You go Samantha Bacon. You find a way to get her down into the post. That's how they've gotten back into this contest, by just pounding this team in the post. Stay with it, your formula that's giving you success.
It's Hafer with it right now. Bacon, top of the key with a minute to play. Hafer off the screen from Bacon, down the lane, high off the glass, no. Bacon had it tipped away. Davis got a hand on it, Hampton with it now. Pressured as she comes across the midcourt line, under 50 seconds left. Again, no shot clock, so they can kill a lot of clock here. No foul given yet. Gardner back up top for Williams. Thrown away! The pressure from the 6'1" freshman Landry Murphy gets Williams, who's just 5'4", to throw it away, and Argyle has another chance here.
And in those situations right there, Mike, you want Courtney Lee to tell Journey Hampton to keep the ball in her hands. She's the best ball handler that they have. 30 seconds here, a three-pointer is going to tie it up.
Bacon, hands off, Hafer for the tie, long. Knocked out of bounds, last touched by the freshman. Wrigley Green knocked it out of bounds, and it's Lady Panther basketball with 20 seconds even.
Get
Pressure
this ball into the hands of 12. Sorry about that, Mike.
You're good, you're good. Hampton with it. They're gonna have to give a foul, and they do with 14.1.
And that's, if you're Coach Courtney Lee, you live and die with the ball in 12's hands. She's had herself an incredible game. She's so hard to deal with, but again, her craftiness and ability to create off the dribble has been uncanny, and one of those great things that we've seen this entire game. Boy, what almost a mistake right there from the Panthers.
This is the one downside for Argyle of the fact that it's been a very clean game, is they don't have enough fouls to get anybody to the free throw line. Finally now, they will send Hampton to the line.
She's got to knock this shot down.
As cool as could be, and the lead is 4.
Yeah, this is what a contest this has been. And I mean, quality all through this game, but defensively, I have loved the chess match between these two teams, and I think it all got started with Jance Westmoreland just basically saying, what I'm going to do is I'm going to trap these shooters in the corner. I'm going to make life impossible for the Panthers to get the ball across, to get set up in their offense. But what they didn't account for is just the ball handling ability of Journey Hampton. Courtney Lee then returned the favor by setting some traps herself, and I think the Eagles just didn't have the ball handlers to be able to get through some of those traps. And man, that's just great coaching and controlling this game down the stretch.
Chance Westmoreland in his huddle with his team, staring at a 2-possession lead now. They will need an awful lot to go their way over these last 8.9 seconds to be able to change the outcome of this one. Still one more free throw coming from Journey Hampton, who right now has 33 points on the night. Only a sophomore, one of the very best point guards in the area. And we've still got 2 more years worth of being able to watch this young woman grow into the player she's going to become.
She is phenomenal. She is a phenomenal ball player. Should have 34 because that one move should have counted as a 3.
She's got 34 now, and the lead is 5. And that one's thrown away. Argyle was facing a need to do something miraculous, and the ball will come back to the point where it was inbounded. The ball was never touched within the court of play. So by rule, it comes back to where the ball was inbounded. At this point, largely immaterial with a 5-point lead for Colleyville Heritage and only 8.9 seconds left. The foul called on the sideline on Wrigley Green will send Samari Stevenson to the free throw line for 2. What a battle this was, Heckma Harrison. Back and forth all night. Heritage raced out to that early 10-point lead. Argyle with a terrific comeback to lead by as much as 4. But Heritage is going to walk out of here with a huge win that's going to shake up the district standings in 7-5A and is probably going to shake things up in the state rankings as well. You upset a team ranked 5th in the state, you're going to have a number next to your name next Monday.
Oh, absolutely. And we talked about it in the open, how Denton Ryan had invested interest in this game as well, because there was no margin for error at the top for the Argyle Eagles. But either way, they panther on here in Colleyville Heritage. Man, what a quality win for Coach Courtney Lee and her squad. And Journey Lee is the MVP. We're not handing out any trophies here, but if we could, we give it to Journey.
Journey Hampton with 34 points on the night, and you can see the emotion from number 12 and her teammates. They know they just accomplished something tonight. This is an Argyle program that has only lost 3 games all year long. One of them to a team ranked in the top 10 in the 6A state rankings. Yeah, they're fired up, and they've got something to celebrate here in Colleyville tonight. The Lady Panthers with a colossal win.
Yeah, as they should, Mike. They came in, obviously, in the interview. We knew that from Coach Courtney Lee. They knew what was at stake. They had to come here and make a statement. They felt like they let one get away earlier in Argyle, especially, and it's not outside of their mind. I mean, all of these players on the court, they respect Gabby Campbell. They know what kind of player she is when she's on the floor. But on the other side for Colleyville, they just had to play who came to their gym, and they did a good job of pulling out this victory.
34 points from Journey Hampton, 8 more from Sully Davis, and Colleyville Heritage with a very impressive 45-39 win. And this is just game 1 of our doubleheader here on Tuesday Night Hoops. You can see them warming up already. When we return, the 10th ranked Argyle boys here on the road against Colleyville Heritage. We'll tee this one up for you when we return.
Thanks, Delkus.
Thanks, Delkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
WFAA has a legacy of changing the system.
Most recently, we did a story on ankle monitors and how they don't work, and how criminals are committing crimes with ankle monitors. And yeah, there's legislative change coming.
Our 2-year investigation caught the attention of state representatives. Now, it's a crime to cut off ankle monitors.
I want people to see things that we need to hold people accountable for.
Right now in Terrell and in Dallas, your heat index is 107. Everyone in McKinney is dead. It's hot in McKinney. We'll fix that probably.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
WFAA Sports. To us, it's about so much more than a highlight, wins or losses. It's the heart that makes up the game. The triumph of human spirit, its agony and victory, diehards and day ones. It can divide or unify communities. We give you the stats, but inspire you with the stories, the unpredictable, unforgettable, and incomparable. We bring it to you all because sports lives in all of us.
Discover WFAA Plus, a live 24-hour stream of WFAA news and exclusive digital content, all completely free. Now available on Apple TV, Roku, and Fire TV. Download WFAA Plus today.
WFAA Sports. To us, it's about so much more than a highlight, wins or losses. It's the heart that makes up the game. The triumph of human spirit, its agony and victory, diehards and day ones. It can divide or unify communities. We give you the stats, but inspire you with the stories, the unpredictable, unforgettable, and incomparable. We bring it to you all because sports lives in all of us.
You need a team you can trust to prepare you for the day.
We are making sure that you have all the information you need.
Looking out for you.
So we do have the heat advisory and air quality alert in effect for today.
Bold reporting.
Reporting from Plano.
Red flag warning in place.
Dynamic coverage.
Live from Addison.
Original content.
We are staying on top of this story, of course. Be safe out there on the roads. It's going to be a great time.
I am up with Daybreak. What about you? WFAA has a legacy of changing the system.
Most recently, we did a story on ankle monitors and how they don't work, and how criminals are committing crimes with ankle monitors. And yeah, there's legislative change coming.
Our 2-year investigation caught the attention of state representatives. Now, it's a crime to cut off ankle monitors.
I want people to see things that we need to hold people accountable for.
Two of our doubleheader on tap as the boys take the floor to get ready for the opening tip. It's 10th ranked Argyle and Colleyville Heritage in the nightcap here on Tuesday Night Hoops. As we welcome you back courtside, Mike Leslie, Hackma Harrison, ready to roll for game number 2. We had a season full of high school football on Friday Night Football. Thrilled to be with you for our first basketball broadcast of the year. The girls' game already in the books, a fantastic display from Journey Hampton, 34 points to lead Colleyville Heritage on the girls' side to an upset win over the number 5 team in the state in the Argyle Eagles. Now in the nightcap, number 10 Argyle boys come in to Colleyville Heritage's gym, and the Panthers looking to pull a similar upset.
And they're going to need it, and because the margin of error on this side for the boys is just as slim as well. And so, look, I think this has been, you couldn't have picked a better doubleheader with more significance for the district than this game right here.
Give you a look at the district standings in 7-5A. Argyle at the top, tied with Denton Ryan, both teams 6-1. Argyle's loss, a bit surprising. We'll get into the hows and whys of their loss to Birdville, although Russell Perkins will tell you this is a fantastic district, top to bottom, 1 through 8. They are all quality basketball teams. But Argyle has had some injury issues themselves over the course of the year that factor into all of this. Colleyville Heritage at 5-2. A win tonight would really jumble things up with that threesome at the top of the district, these two and Denton Ryan.
No, and they feel as though, especially the Panthers, they feel like this is the opportunity for them. They're going to have to stick to what they do best. When we talk with Coach Hamrick, he's like, look, I got guys, 5 guys, when they're out on the floor, they're going to play for one another. But bigger than that, they are going to buckle down defensively to try and get these stops. They've got to out-rebound on the other side for these Argyle Eagles squad, because I'm going to tell you, this is an Argyle Eagles team that plays defense like you would not believe, and they are led by the mad scientist, Coach Perkins.
There's no two ways about that. A basketball coach, also a competitive mathematics coach. We'll get into his backstory as well. The big question tonight, how different will tonight look from December 19th? On that night, Cash Polk, arguably the best player on this Argyle roster. He and Jason Demsher can battle it out for that title, but Cash Polk, certainly one of the very best players for the Argyle Eagles, tore his ACL in the 4th quarter of that basketball game with Argyle up 10. Heritage peeled it down to 3, but couldn't complete the comeback. Tonight, an opportunity for Colleyville Heritage on their home floor to perhaps come up with a different outcome.
And that's 2 players for the Argyle Eagles from the women and the men that are missing. That their play is significant to the success that they have. A guy like Cash Polk, 6'9". I mean, his ability inside to work things, but also defensively, he is an impact player for them that is missing tonight.
So with him off the floor, and even without him off the floor, their leading scorer is Jason Demsher. The senior, 6'4", scored his 1,000th career point back on January the 5th against Denton Ryan. 20-plus points per game since that injury to Cash Polk. He has upped his game necessarily.
Man, this guy is a cool customer, is Demsher. And you talk about his 1,000th shot that's just attributed to all of the work that he's put in the offseason of perfecting his shot. 6'4", a guy that really takes more pride in how he plays defense than how he plays offense. But again, one of those players that when it is clutch time, he can get it done.
Meanwhile, for Colleyville Heritage, Tristan Strength, this kid is really able to put the basketball in the hoop. 16.4 points per game. He and their 6'11 forward Tim Finau really set the tone for this team.
Yeah, Tristan Strength, there's so many play-on words that I can use right there for Tristan Strength, what his strength is. He's just a baller, okay?
Yeah.
He's just one of those guys that can create his own shot. But bigger than that, when you start looking at the stat sheet, what I love most about him is his ability to get other players involved. His assist ratio is incredible. So look at number 13, but also number 1, Tim Finau.
Can 10th-ranked Argyle maintain its hold on the top of the district, or will Colleyville Heritage start off the second half of district play with a big upset win? Tuesday Night Hoops tips off game number 2 right after this.
Thanks, Delkus.
Thanks, Delkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
WFAA has a legacy of changing the system.
Most recently, we did a story on ankle monitors and how they don't work, and how criminals are committing crimes with ankle monitors. And yeah, there's legislative change coming.
Our 2-year investigation caught the attention of state representatives. Now, it's a crime to cut off ankle monitors.
I want people to see things that we need to hold people accountable for.
Right now in Terrell and in Dallas, your heat index is 107. Everyone in McKinney is dead. It's hot in McKinney. We'll fix that probably.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
WFAA Sports. To us, it's about so much more than a highlight, wins or losses. It's the heart that makes up the game. The triumph of human spirit, its agony and victory, diehards and day ones. It can divide or unify communities. We give you the stats but inspire you with the stories, the unpredictable, unforgettable, and incomparable. We bring it to you all because sports lives in all of us.
Discover WFAA Plus, a live 24-hour stream of WFAA news and exclusive digital content, all completely free. Now available on Apple TV, Roku, and Fire TV. Download WFAA Plus today.
WFAA Sports. To us, it's about so much more than a highlight, wins or losses. It's the heart that makes up the game. The triumph of human spirit, its agony and victory, diehards and day ones. It can divide or unify communities. We give you the stats but inspire you with the stories, the unpredictable, unforgettable, and incomparable. We bring it to you all because sports lives in all of us.
Senior guard, Jack Elizardo.
Two of the top teams in District 7-5A ready to square off tonight in the nightcap of the Tuesday Night Hoops doubleheader. 10th-ranked Argyle and the Colleyville Heritage Panthers. Starters for Argyle being introduced right now. Their head coach, Russell Perkins, in his 10th year. His starters tonight, Gerald Burris, Jack Elizardo, Ryder Smithers in the backcourt, Jason Dempscher, and Karin Matu starting as well. Dempscher, a 6'4" senior guard. Meanwhile, for Colleyville Heritage, head coach Stephen Hamrick, his 13th season at Heritage. Also spent 3 years as the head coach at Irving MacArthur before coming over here to Colleyville. His starters tonight, Damari Evans, Camden Coburn, Cash Gardner in the backcourt, Tristan Strength as well. Tim Finau, the big 6'11" senior forward, starting in the middle, getting some Division I looks. He says he's more of an international big with the way that he plays the game. Hackman Harrison, really intrigued to see what Tim Finau can do tonight.
And I look at that, and when we got an opportunity to talk with Coach Hamrick about his big, he said, "Look, man, at 6'11", he's one of those kids that's getting bigger by the day. He's 6'11", 6'11" and a quarter, okay, if you want to call it that. But either way, he's one of those guys that 20 years ago, Tim Finau would be a household name because of the way that he's able to run the floor. But basketball has completely changed. It's a new day when you have to rely on your 6'11" big maybe to shoot threes and shoot from the perimeter versus just run the floor and eat in the paint.
He's listed officially at 6'11". He puts on his own Twitter profile 7 foot. Coach says he's probably 7 foot in shoes at the very least. He's a monster, and he is an imposing challenge for Argyle to deal with tonight. Jason Dempscher, the 6'4" senior, will jump at the center circle as John Woods puts the ball in the air, and we are underway here at Colleyville Heritage High School. And it will be the Eagles in the black unis with possession first as Gerald Burris drives inside and finishes.
And I like that already from Burris. You see the offense going through him initially to get things started. He sees the lane open up and takes no time in getting down low to get that 2-pointer.
Finau gets his first touch of the night, has it stripped away. It's Burris who got his hands on it. Dempscher, the 1,000-point scorer, gives off for Burris, and Argyle will start the offense. The Eagles, one of the top athletic programs in the state, not just basketball. 3 on the way for Karin Matu, misses long. Last year, though, missed the playoffs for the first time in their first season in 5A. This year, a significant bounce back. Here they are at 23-3 and ranked 10th in the state rankings. Heckma Argyle's right back where they're used to being.
Yeah, this is a team that's highly competitive, and Coach Perkins has them playing so meticulous. What they do best is what you're seeing right now. Defensively, they get you through the half court, then they are going to pressure you on every point of the court.
Coburn able to get into the lane. The 14-footer rattles home.
And how about that soft touch right there from Camden Coburn, able to get that shot to go through.
Nearly taken away. Tristan Strength racing out to get a hand on that one, but it's back up top for Burris.
And there is no shot clock, as you stated before, in high school. But I tell you, the way that they just take their time getting the ball to open shooters, that's what I love about the way that the Eagles play.
Tristan Strength, the leading scorer at 16 a game, racing up floor, but gives off now for Coburn. Colleyville Heritage, Stephen Hammer calls his club an ornery bunch. Says it in the most complimentary way possible, but he said it's just a scrappy bunch that kind of irritates their opponent. That's a travel on Tim Finau as he was double-teamed underneath.
And Tim Finau's just got to find a way to get his offense going. The big man, you can tell he's hanging his head just a little bit. He's already back over on the bench, and Coach is talking to him, just letting him know, man, look, you got to get that ball up. You know, he's already had 2 turnovers so far in this game.
They do play through Finau and Strength. That's how they get the job done on the offensive end. Argyle, though, we heard it from Russell Perkins earlier this week, they're going to try and play small and try and play Finau off the floor if they can, because they don't have the size to really match up with him. Dempscher, nice look, underneath the up and under goes for Gerald Burris.
And that's just all set up right there by Jason Dempscher. Setting the pick at the top of the key, to getting the ball, working down inside and finding the cutter off the baseline. That's a great design for Coach Perkins.
Bodie Weaver gives it off. Strength down the lane, blocked from behind. It will stay on this end, but good defense from Argyle. Finau back on the floor, takes the inbound pass. Hamrick said his Colleyville Heritage team not afraid of anything. He's really liked how they've handled big moments. Three on the way won't go for Tristan Strength. This feels like one on your home floor against a team ranked in the top 10 in the state. A chance to make a statement just like the girls program did earlier on this evening. Three on the way will go.
Boy, you're talking right there, Mikey. This is the challenge for the Panthers, but even more so when you got guys knocking down open shots like that, and boy, Smithers does not hesitate to get that one up in the air, and it goes down.
Ryder Smithers, Russell Perkins says he's one of the best three-point shooters he's coached in his 31 years. Weaver can't answer. And here comes Burris once again. Argyle out to a quick start, looking to add to it. Dempscher.
And you see him right now. They're bringing Finau all the way out of the paint. He's guarding number 4, Matu.
Karin Matu, the tallest kid they can throw at him at 6'6". He'll try a three. Rattles out.
And that's how you nullify your big in this game. Now you just bring him all the way out, make him defend all the way out on the elbow.
Nice cross-court feed, though, from Finau to Cash Gardner for the three.
And Cash Gardner, player that is a quarterback here for the Colleyville Heritage.
Tough shot there from Burris, won't go. Weak side rebound leads to an open three-point look in the corner. That won't fall. Bounce pass up ahead for Coburn in transition. Short-armed it off the glass, gets his own rebound. The putback won't go. Finau draws the foul underneath.
And Finau right there in order to collect the rebound, just not able to get the shot to go in. But I love the aggression right now from Colleyville on the offense. They are attacking this Eagles defense.
This game a rematch of that December 19th matchup, a 51-41 Argyle win. Stephen Hamrick said they kicked our tail that night. Finau gets the lefty free throw to go. He was very complimentary of Russell Perkins, the program that Argyle has. Clearly a lot of respect between these two coaches. But Hamrick said, listen, we weren't very good, and they had a lot to do with it that night. He said they've learned a lot in the months since. He said, I don't really have to say much. They know that we'll be better tonight. A 1-for-2 trip there for Finau, and it's a one-point game.
And a little bit of a change on defense on the other side for Coach Hamrick.
Corner three misses well short. Offensive rebound, another chance. Backside, Burris finishes. And he's got 6 in the early going. Strength into the lane, one-on-one, just a bit too strong. Dempscher's gonna look to run. 2-on-3, spin move down the lane, and he finishes.
What a move by Dempscher. Jason just taking it all the way into the teeth of the defense of the Panthers. Spin move in the paint. Boy, off the glass. You gotta love that right there from Dempscher.
Jason Dempscher with his first bucket of the night. 20 points per game since the injury to Cash Polk. 1,000 points on his career. Was a part of that state championship team for Argyle back in 2021. Was a freshman on that team, but got a chance to be a part of what it means to be a champion. And now here they are, one of the top 10 teams in the state. Argyle hunting after another title.
Yeah, they put so much pressure on you, though, on defense. And I tell you, Coach Perkins, when you talk to him, I call him the mad scientist because I've never heard anyone talk with so much zeal about competition math. It made me sick. Made me apologize to my own son about his math grades because, man, this guy is so excited to teach math at Argyle.
Tristan Strength down the lane, lost it momentarily, got it back and finished. Russell Perkins teaches more than anything else. Algebra 2 can teach all the way up through calculus. if they needed him to, but Algebra 2 is really his sweet spot. And he does coach the competitive math team at Argyle as well. He says he coaches them just like he coaches his basketball team. He said, I'm a better math coach than I am a basketball coach.
That's scary. That is scary with the way that he has this team playing. He started talking analytics in basketball, and I said, Coach, look, okay, let's regroup here. What do you mean? Everything is accounted for with his team.
He said the wave of analytics that we've seen, football, basketball, all sports over the course of the last decade or so, he said, we were doing that kind of stuff forever ago. He said, now we probably do less than a lot of teams do. Triple from the corner from Smithers goes. His second of the night, and it's a 6-point lead.
And I'm telling you, Ryder Smithers, they better get a body on him. He's camped out there on the three-point line and just way too comfortable with getting those shots to go up and in.
Final 20 seconds of the quarter. A foul to give there by Matthew Dahl, and they're going to get Jack Weir on the floor for these final 13 seconds. Tim Finau coming on as well for Colleyville Heritage. Strength will give it in for Bodie Weaver. Weaver, the sixth man, they really only go 6 deep. Weaver gets some space, 16-footer, fading away, won't go. 4 seconds left. Burris just now sees it, fires a 60-footer that won't go. And Argyle with 6 points apiece from Gerald Burris and Ryder Smithers with a 14-8 lead after 1 here on Tuesday Night Hoops.
Quick word from one of the boys basketball team sponsors.
North Texas, it's a hot one today. If you're planning on taking the pups out, make sure to protect their paws. That asphalt is going to be hot.
Thanks, Delkin.
Thanks, Delkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
Discover WFAA Plus, a live 24-hour stream of WFAA news and exclusive digital content, all completely free. Now available on Apple TV, Roku, and Fire TV. Download WFAA Plus today.
Back here in Colleyville, give you a look at Cash Polk, the 6'9" junior guard, tore his ACL the first time these two teams met back on December the 19th. One of the best players in the area. 6 Division I scholarship offers, Oklahoma, Texas A&M, Rice, Colorado State, on and on. Really talented kid that Russell Perkins certainly hopes they will get back at some point during next season, his senior year, here at Argyle. But they have had to find a way to play differently, Heckma, without him. And a lot of that has been Jason Dempscher, but a lot of it also has been Gerald Burris, who's off to a terrific start here. Gets the steal, gives it off. The 3 won't go for Smithers. But Burris has been very good to start this game.
No, he really has, and you just see that defense from the Argyle Eagles starting to take over this game, making life so difficult on the Colleyville Heritage Panthers. But going back to our guy Cash Polk, you just talk about those Division I scholarship offers that he has. That's indicative of the kind of player that he is at 6'9". Cash Polk, just so smooth with the basketball in his hands and one of those all heart and hustle guys.
Finau gives it in the corner. Coburn for 3, rattles out. Burris down the lane. The pump fake and a travel in the corner. Jonathan Lungini, excuse me, with the travel there to give it back to Colleyville Heritage.
But Lungini, one of those very talented young players that they have on the Eagles roster, putting in some quality minutes here in Colleyville.
Panthers struggling to find the bottom of the net here in the early going. Tipped away. A foul is going to get called here, I believe, on Burris. He created some havoc in the midcourt as he and Tristan Strength went for the basketball.
Gosh, and Burris, like a football player, man, he gets you out on that perimeter. He is going to put pressure on you and make life so much more difficult. Easy passes are not allowed on the perimeter with number 2 standing around.
I mentioned the injury struggles that Argyle has had, not just Cash Polk, but Gerald Burris. Layup goes here for Camden Coburn to carve into the lead. First points here in the second quarter for either team. But Burris was hurt for their 1 district loss when they lost to Birdville a few weeks ago. Three-pointer misses well long, loose underneath. Panther basketball.
And right now for Colleyville, when you have a guy that's 7 foot out there on the floor, you want to be able to capitalize on that size and use him. Right now, Tim Finau on both ends of the floor, just not giving them enough energy right now. They need the big man to run the floor, create mismatches, block shots, do all the things that you would expect for your 7-footer to do.
Coburn into the lane. Colleyville Heritage able to penetrate, but not able to find the final play, find the final link in the chain. Finau goes to work. Nice spin move.
Mike, that's what I want to see from my big man. I want to see you work down in low and eat. You got a guy that's undersized. He's 6'6". You're 7 foot. Come on, Tim. Make him pay.
The foot speed, the quickness, the nimble-footed 7-footer Tim Finau on the board with his first field goal of the night. Now 3 points on the evening, and he cuts the lead down to 2.
Yeah, and look, for Tim Finau, it's just one of those things, man. You're too big. You can't disappear on the floor. Your team is going to need you, especially defensively. You see right now the way that they are running at him in the lane, not able to get any stops. Jason Dempscher, another one of those active players on the other side for the Eagles, man. He is making the pay in the post and also getting rebounds. When you got a 7-footer in the lane, that should be a no-no.
Out of the timeout, Argyle 23-3 on the year, leading by 2 as Burris brings it across the timeline. Dempscher with it in the corner. Russell Perkins, their head coach, told us earlier this week he's really proud of the way that this team has persevered, even despite the injury to Polk, to be standing here as a top 10 team in the state and 23-3 on the year. Three-pointer won't go there for Lungini. Finau with another rebound.
Yeah, that's what you want from the big man. Dominate down low, high point the basketball, and just be the big that you are.
Three-pointer won't go for Cash Gardner. Gardner, their second leading scorer at 11 a game. He, Tristan Strength, and Tim Finau all in double figures. But again, they don't go very deep. Just 6 guys in their primary rotation. Bodie Weaver comes in off the bench. Their 5 starters, and that's about it. You'll see a couple of guys steal some minutes here or there. But those are the 6 guys that they roll with. Cross-court feed. Tipped away.
And I gave Cash Gardner credit for being the quarterback on the football team, and that's Bodie Weaver. That is the quarterback.
Yes. Foul on the floor as Karin Matu drove into the lane. Baseline inbound forthcoming here for Gerald Burris. Argyle still hunting for their first points of the second quarter, and they found them. The fadeaway from Dempscher.
I love Jason Dempscher's game. I really do, man. He is, you know, it's not like he's forcing the issue by a long shot, man. He's just finding his way down and getting quality shots out.
Weaver couldn't quite finish underneath, and Argyle looking to capitalize on the opportunity. Dempscher, Hamrick wanted to walk, but won't get the call. John Woods, Brian Curtis, Brian Battaglia. Our 3-man crew, just as it was for the girls' game earlier. Did a nice job in that game, doing a nice job in this one too. The foul counts have been very low. They're letting them play. Matu for 3, front iron.
And that's Tim Finau's guy again. Bringing the big man out of the paint.
Nice play underneath to set up Finau. What a play by Camden Coburn.
Yes, indeed it was. And the big man starting to heat up.
The shot from Strength got tipped. That was why it was so short, but Coburn heads up play to retrieve it on the baseline and bounce it to Finau for 2. Under 3 minutes here in the second quarter. A fast-moving first half. Corner 3 misses short. Ryder Smithers with back-to-back misses.
A good rotation on that last offensive output. Just not able to knock the shot down. Dempster able to find a wide open shooter in the corner.
Finau going to work once again on the low block, and it's a tie game.
And you love to see it. When you see him go on that right shoulder, turn back inside, go with the left hand, he is unstoppable. There's no one in this gymnasium that can stop him when he does that.
He's got 5 inches on everybody that is healthy for Argyle. Cash Polk at 6'9", we mentioned it earlier, injured earlier this year in this matchup. Nice job on the backside to find a layup and a putback by Jack Elizardo.
And Jack Elizardo listed at 6 foot, going up and getting that rebound over Tim Finau.
It right in front of Finau. Surprising. Argyle seesaws back in front, 18-16. Baseline up and under, tough shot, nearly went for Tristan Strength. That would have been magnificent. Instead, open 3 in the corner for Smithers.
Yeah, and that guy right there, he had an open 3 before. He couldn't knock it down, but he comes right back. And Smithers catching it in rhythm, knocking it down. I said it before in the first quarter, they better try and find a way to get a guy on number 5 because he is lurking around that 3-point line, and he's finding his comfort zones to get those shots up.
The third three-pointer of the first half for Ryder Smithers. I mentioned it earlier, Russell Perkins said he's one of the best shooters that he's coached in his 31-year career. He said it doesn't always go in, but it always looks like it's going in. I'll bet your Ryder feels the same way.
What a compliment, though. What a compliment. Can never say he's taking a bad shot if it's looking like it's going to go in, you know?
Yeah. Grant McCaslin, who was the head coach at UNT the last several years, took the job at Texas Tech in the offseason. His son Jet was on this this Argyle team a year ago and is a fantastic shooter in his own right, but now lives in Lubbock, obviously, with his father, with his family. And Russell Perkins said that Smithers has done a really nice job assuming that role as the gunner for this team. Nice move to get baseline. The 14-footer goes for Coburn.
And you see those dribble drives from Coburn. Looked like he could have got in closer for a layup, but instead he stops and takes the shot there on the baseline and drains it anyway.
Final minute of the opening half. Burris reclaims his dribble and gives it off here for Jack Weir just into the game. Weir picked up his dribble, has to hand it off here for Burris. Fadeaway 16-footer misses long. Tristan Strength with a solid backside rebound.
Always a mistake when you pick up your dribble to end that close. Allowing the defense to converge on you, that's a great rebound and possession now for the Panthers.
And now in a 1-possession game, final 20 seconds, Tristan Strength lost it, gives it up underneath. Nice find, Bodie Weaver lays it in.
Man, that is an even better pass from Damari Evans, finding the cutting Bodie Weaver.
Sophomore to sophomore. 5 seconds left. Burris heaves a deep 3 that misses long. And as the opening half comes to an end, a 1-point game. Argyle 21, Colleyville Heritage 20.
Oh, this has been one heck of a first half, and I think a lot of back and forth, but defensively, I think it's going to come down to this second half. Who can create and can get these stops may be the one that pulls away. If Colleyville is able to pull out a victory here, it would be a massive upset.
9 points from Ryder Smithers to lead the way for Argyle. 7 points from the big man, Tim Finau, the 7-footer. And it's a 1-point game at the break. Argyle up 1 at halftime on Tuesday Night
Joining
Hoops.
us on the court tonight is the Colleyville.
Thanks, Delkus.
Thanks, Delkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
WFAA has a legacy of changing the system.
Most recently, we did a story on ankle monitors and how they don't work, and how criminals are committing crimes with ankle monitors. And yeah, there's legislative change coming.
Our 2-year investigation caught the attention of state representatives. Now, it's a crime to cut off ankle monitors.
I want people to see things that we need to hold people accountable for.
Right now in Terrell and in Dallas, your heat index is 107. Everyone in McKinney is dead. It's hot in McKinney. We'll fix that probably.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
WFAA Sports. To us, it's about so much more than a highlight, wins or losses. It's the heart that makes up the game. The triumph of human spirit, its agony and victory, diehards and day ones. It can divide or unify communities. We give you the stats, but inspire you with the stories, the unpredictable, unforgettable, and incomparable. We bring it to you all because sports lives in all of us.
Discover WFAA Plus, a live 24-hour stream of WFAA news and exclusive digital content, all completely free. Now available on Apple TV, Roku, and Fire TV. Download WFAA Plus today.
Basketball@gmail.com.
As we welcome you back to Colleyville, Texas. The Heritage Panthers already saw their girls team pull a big upset on 5th-ranked Argyle in the early game. Now in the nightcap, a 1-point game as Argyle, ranked number 10 in the state on the boys' side in 5A, leads by 1, 21-20. Mike Leslie, Heckma Harrison back with you courtside. 7 points from Tim Finau, 9 points from Ryder Smithers, your leading scorers for these two respective teams. Defensive battle, though, low-scoring game to this point. What have you liked from each of these two teams, and what do you feel like needs to change?
You know, I think the Eagles have come in. They played a little tight, but they are relying on what travels, and that's their defense. They've made life unbearable on the other end for the Panthers that are just trying to find a way to break the code. They haven't been able to get Tristan Smith the balls, the shots that he's been accustomed to getting up. But the points have come from other guys like Camden Colburn and company, and also Tim Finau. They're at the end of the second quarter starting to come on as well. I think on the other end for the Eagles, they just got to find a way to continue to generate their offense defensively. They're playing perfect. Yeah. I mean, they're making life really, like I said, uncomfortable on the other side for the Panthers.
Coburn with 6 big points, and I believe 4 of those 6, yes, in that second quarter to really kind of help them come back in this basketball game. Argyle led by 6 after that opening period. Nice job by the Panthers to rein them back in and pull this down to just a 1-point margin as we head to the third quarter. But to your point, Tristan Strength hasn't really been able to get unlocked yet. Just 2 points for him so far in this basketball game. Their leading scorer at 16 a game. They need to get him rolling. And we talked about it off the air just a moment ago. Finau, he started to get it rolling there in the second quarter, but you want to see a little more from him.
He's 7 foot tall. I mean, he's the biggest guy in here, and you want to see him dominating the paint, but also you can't have those easy rebounds like we saw underneath. As I pointed out, he's letting a 6-foot guy go up and out rebounding. But on the other end, I mean, Gerald Burris right now, the point guard on the other side for the Eagles, he is the reason why Tristan Strength is having the off-night shooting, because Burris is making sure that he's pressuring him. As soon as he gets past the half-court line, they know who the shooters are for the Panthers, and I tell you what, Coach Perkins is not going to allow for number 13 to heat up.
Yeah, Burris came out of the gates very hot. All 6 of his points in the first quarter, really just the way that he had the spark of energy to start this basketball game, to get Argyle rolling, just to stake them to that early 6-point lead. He was instrumental in what they did tonight, and he's somebody that Coach Perkins has told us is very instrumental in what they do big picture as well.
Not only him, but Ryder Smithers. We got to make sure that we mention Smithers. Smithers has just been sitting out here on this 3-point line, waiting on the ball to come to him. No dribble, nothing. He's going right up with him. They're catching him on his spots to knock down shots. So here in the second half, I think if Colleyville wants to shock the world, they're going to have to find some offense, and they need it from strength.
Russell Perkins talked with us about it earlier this week. This is the first game of a really difficult gauntlet that is in front of them. They have Denton Ryan coming up. They have Birdville coming up. Tonight, of course, against Colleyville Heritage. Some of the top teams along with Argyle in the district are boom, boom, boom. This 3-game stretch tonight, Friday, and then next Tuesday, Birdville and Denton Ryan to follow. They're trying to start it with a victory. They're trying to stay at the top of those district standings. They're getting a challenge tonight from Colleyville Heritage for sure.
Look, slim margin of error at the top. And even when I think about this Argyle's Eagles team losing to Birdville, you got to say, what did Birdville come with that night? And obviously, if Gerald Burris was out, that may have been the difference in that game. But for Colleyville Heritage, they have all the athletes on the other side as well. These guys are playing impeccable up until this game. But they know when they come up against the Argyle Eagles, that defense, they have to find a way to unlock it. They're always running guys at you. Even when you're shooting on the perimeter, they're running guys at you to run you off of the perimeter, and they're beating you down the court. So there's so many things that this Panther squad is playing with in the back of their mind, because they have to, they have to keep their basketball IQ up at all times.
Smithers, Burris, and Dempscher getting the job done for Argyle so far, but the number 10 team in the state in a dogfight tonight on the road against Colleyville Heritage. It's a 1-point game at the break when we return. Third quarter action here on Tuesday Night Hoops.
WFAA Sports. To us, it's about so much more than a highlight, wins or losses. It's the heart that makes up the game. The triumph of human spirit, its agony and victory, diehards and day ones. It can divide or unify communities. We give you the stats, but inspire you with the stories, the unpredictable, unforgettable, and incomparable. We bring it to you all because sports lives in all of us.
You need a team you can trust to prepare you for the day.
We are making sure that you have all the information you need.
Looking out for you.
So we do have the heat advisory and air quality alert in effect for today.
Bold reporting.
Reporting from Plano.
Red flag warning in place.
Dynamic coverage.
Live from Addison.
Original content.
We are staying on top of this story, of course. Be safe out there on the roads. It's going to be a great time.
I am up with daybreak. What about you? WFAA has a legacy of changing the system.
Most recently, we did a story on ankle monitors and how they don't work, and how criminals are committing crimes with ankle monitors. And there's legislative change coming.
Our 2-year investigation caught the attention of state representatives. Now, it's a crime to cut off ankle monitors.
I want people to see things that we need to hold people accountable for.
North Texas, it's a hot one today. If you're planning on taking the pups out, make sure to protect their paws. That asphalt is going to be hot.
Thanks, Delkin. Thanks, Delkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
Discover WFAA Plus, a live 24-hour stream of WFAA news and exclusive digital content, all completely free. Now available on Apple TV, Roku, and Fire TV. Download WFAA Plus today.
You may just be watching us on WFAA Plus right now. We appreciate you if you are, or if you're on the WFAA YouTube channel, please let us know in the YouTube comments where you're tuning in from tonight. If you got a favorite player on either one of these two teams, if you're fired up about the Colleyville Heritage girls win earlier, let us know that, whatever the case may be. Drop us a comment in that chat stream, and please share this broadcast around with your friends and family in the Argyle and Colleyville Heritage communities, the Texas high school basketball community as a whole. We've got a pretty good basketball game in front of us as we get ready to start. Quarter number 3. It will be Argyle ball to start. Karin Matu to throw it inbounds for the Eagles. Gerald Burris with his 6 first quarter points, starting the offense for Argyle. Dempscher, nice move inside.
Yeah, Dempscher immediately recognizing that the defender goes to the ground, and then he picks up his dribble and then gets the easy 2 points. Again, the Argyle Eagles are going to continue to put pressure on the Panthers. The defensive end is where they're going to pull this one out if they get the upset tonight.
We talked about it off the top of the broadcast that Finau and strength really set the tone for Colleyville Heritage. Can they here in the second half? Coburn had a nice first half, gives it up for strength, pump fake, open 3, rattles out. Halfway down for Tristan Strength. He has not been able to get things rolling tonight.
No, he hasn't. He's been working so hard on both ends of the floor, though, and I think that makes the difference. When there's no easy reps, and a guy like Strength is having to work, boy, that just makes life just difficult for you.
Nice offensive rebound by Dempscher off the miss by Smithers. Long 3 from Matu in the corner. Another offensive rebound by Dempscher. Up over top of Coburn. Smithers, open look. Bottoms.
I tell you, the guy that you can't leave alone. He's number 5 in black, okay? Don't leave him alone. They're going to always look for him. Matu, as soon as he received that pass and recognized that Smithers was unguarded, he's like, here, hot potato, you take it.
He did, and he buried it, and he's got a dozen on the night. Foul on the drive will go against Smithers.
I think the best version, though, of Colleyville is when they run the offense through Tim Finau. They have to give the big man some touches. They have to allow him to get into some type of rhythm. He is a headache down low.
Hands it off here for Strength, and he buries the triple. Tristan Strength needed that one to go, and it did.
Oh, absolutely he did. And finally getting that one to drop. You can see the sense of relief on the face of number 13.
His first bucket since late in the first quarter. He's got 5 points now on the night, averages 16 on the year. High pass there from Burris, skying to haul it in was Elizardo. 3 on the left side, won't go, but Matu with the offensive board.
And that's just Matu just wanting it more. He is hustling to every loose ball and rebound. But man, that's Gerald Burris also wanting it even more. Look at him getting down into the paint, one-handed. Even with the physicalness, he's able to drain that shot.
Second chance points were an issue for Colleyville Heritage, giving them up the first time these two teams met. We've seen multiple offensive rebounds here in this third quarter as Argyle's built up a 5-point lead. Nice move down the lane. The up and under layup for Coburn.
Yeah, we've seen several times Camden Coburn working his dribble, finding a way to make life unbearable, and then getting it done on the other side on defense.
Coburn with the rip from Burris sets up Damari Evans for the step into it 3, but it's long.
Boy, it looked good, felt good, but the ball just did not go in through the hoop.
Dempscher, offensive foul.
Oh man, that one heck of a move though by Dempscher. And I tell you what, Tristan Strength, he baited him on that one, man. That's a good sell job by number 13.
Shout out to Paul McManus in the YouTube comments, says he's enjoying this doubleheader tonight from Lantana in Denton County. We appreciate you joining us. Again, let us know in the comments where you're watching from tonight. We approach the midway point of quarter number 3. Tristan Strang starting to feel it, a little long.
Yeah, that definitely was a heat check right there from Tristan Strang. He knows that his team needs him to score some balls, to score some shots here. At 25-28. Defense on both ends has been suffocated.
Lungini gives it off here for Burris. Burris, foul on the floor. It'll be a baseline inbound.
And Camden Coburn recognizing he had a foul to give. He's going to make sure that he continues to play physical. You can't allow for Gerald Burris to get any easy shots.
Baseball pass up floor here for Evans, one-on-one in the front court, and he lays it in.
Way to run the floor right there from Damari Evans. Again, that's just all hustle, recognizing out on the perimeter, you got an opportunity to get an easy 2 points.
Right back comes Lungini to draw the foul, and he'll head to the free throw line.
See the sophomore, he's been sacrificing so much defensively. Really good to see him finally get involved on the offense as he gets to the line for 2 shots.
Lungini misses the first. Cade Coburn in the YouTube comments says watching Camden from Oxford, Mississippi. Fired up for how Camden's playing tonight. A 1-for-2 trip, and it's a 2-point game. Jonathan Lungini, the sophomore. Nice move by Coburn. The floater misses short. Offensive rebound. Kick out for 3. Short. Gardner was open. Another offensive rebound. Evans gets inside. Kicks to Weaver. Bodie Weaver settles into a 3-point try. That won't go.
And that's Bodie Weaver. He was, caught that right on the spot, trying to get comfortable with the shot, but he bobbled the pass. And sometimes something that simple throws the timing of that shot and rhythm off.
It is so much about the rhythm and the feel that allows you to capitalize on those opportunities. Just rattled out for Weaver, and Argyle remains in the lead as a result. Fadeaway, tough shot from Dempster won't go, and a foul on the rebound will go on Weaver. Elizardo catching an elbow to the face.
Yes, he did. But I tell you what, each shot is contested and each rebound is being chased down right now. A lot of adjustments had been made at halftime, and you can tell this Colleyville Heritage squad has come out a different looking group. They are hustling after these rebounds. That's the only way that they're going to get a victory here, and I'm sure Coach Hamrick has letting them know about it.
Burris cross court. Tipped away. Strength got a hand on it. Again, no shot clock in Texas high school basketball. There's some longer possessions do occasionally result. Knocked away. Weaver got a hand on it. Smithers able to chase it down, but it's knocked out of bounds and last touched by Smithers.
Again, you see the active hands right now for Colleyville. They're trying to shut down those passing lanes, but again, just making life uncomfortable with those easy passes, routine passes that the Argyle Eagles are trying to make.
Underneath, looking for Finau, tipped away. Nice job to corral it. Puts it up and in through the foul. Tim Finau, too strong.
Let the big man work. Look at Tim Finau, just recognizing here, man, I got the advantage. You're not going to be able to stop me with the guy this size. And I tell you what, 6'6", Matthew Dowell trying to do the best that he possibly can. But when you got a 7-footer underneath there as athletic as Tim Finau is, he's going to get that shot up and in more times than not.
They brought Dahl onto the floor, the 6'6 senior, to try and help cover. Free throw no good, but an offensive rebound by Weaver. Strength. Hesitation move to get by. He draws the foul. They'll say it's on the floor. 90 seconds to play in this third quarter.
Oh, Tristan Stritt not liking that. He thought it should have been a continuation for the shot. But they get the foul on the floor and taking the ball out underneath their basket. Ball out of bounds underneath your basket. I'm getting the ball just to number 0. He's got Jason Dempster on him right now, and that's a mismatch.
Weaver, fade away, tough shot for the sophomore. Finau with a great save back in bounds, but right out to Lungini. Draws the foul.
Man, that is unfortunate. That is an unfortunate sequence right there for the Colleyville Heritage Panthers, because Tim Finau is just trying to hustle for a pass, but he absolutely does the Eagles a favor by getting the ball back across half court.
He couldn't have set Lungini up better
exactly.
to race into the front court and draw this foul. Lungini makes the first and puts Argyle back in front.
And Mike, I'm sure that wasn't the ideal, but again, you save the ball underneath your basket. You want to try and get something to happen where you guys can get another opportunity offensively, and Lungini not able to knock down the second free throw.
His second straight 1-for-2 trip, and Argyle leads by 1. 1 minute to play in quarter number 3. Gardner, foul underneath as Finau was battling for position. Jason Dempster giving up 7 or 8 inches, trying to do everything he can, but gets called for the foul.
You just got to get the ball into the hands of number 0. I mean, no matter what, just sell out to get him the ball, because even if he misses it, the whole defense can collapse around him. Should give guys an opportunity to go back up and get second shot opportunities.
Finau has not, however, been able to find the range at the free throw line. Chance here to tie the game. Rattles in.
Finally, the soft touch plays off for the 7-footer, able to rattle that one home. But man, they need the big man to rebound, some defensive rebounds for him.
Waning moments of the third quarter, 30-30. Just into the game, Ryder Sims had it there in the corner for a moment. First time we've called his name tonight. Hit 2 big shots for them against Richland in their last game to help them pull away from what was a much tighter game against the Richland team still hunting for their first win in district this year. 15 seconds left as Lungini sets the offense for the final play. In the corner, 3 on the way, high off the glass, and no. Finau with 2 up ahead, strength, half-court shot. Close, but no. And we will head to the 4th, tied at 30 apiece. Colleyville Heritage and Argyle in the battle we expected here on Tuesday Night Hoops.
A quick word from our final sponsor for tonight's game.
WFAA Sports. To us, it's about so much more than a highlight, wins or losses. It's the heart that makes up the game. The triumph of human spirit. It's agony and victory, diehards and day ones. It can divide or unify communities. We give you the stats, but inspire you with the stories. The unpredictable, unforgettable, and incomparable. We bring it to you all because sports lives in all of us.
As we welcome you back here to Colleyville Heritage High School, 30-30 our score as we start the 4th quarter. Heckma Harrison, what's your message to these teams right now? It has been dead even to this point. How do you find an edge?
I think Jason Dempster may have taken a quarter off there in the 3rd, but you got to see his offense start to take over. in that first half, number one, Jason Dempster was the difference on the other side for the Eagles. But I tell you what, Tim Finau is a guy for the Panthers. They need him offensively so bad. But what a hustle play right there by number 3.
What a rebound by Weaver. He gets it underneath for Finau, and the layup goes.
That's what I'm telling you. Mike, it's impossible to stop it. Impossible to stop it. You got to give the big man an opportunity down low.
The 2 points go to Finau, but the credit goes to Bodie Weaver. He created that play with the hustle. Burris looking to respond, draws the foul.
And Gerald Burris is just, man, he is such a dog. On defense, you see the way that he continuously competes. He has just been locked down on the perimeter, but his ability, I mean, he is putting so much pressure on the Panthers down low.
He hits the first free throw. Does Gerald Burris. Burris now up to 10 points on the night, and we're tied again at 32.
Find a way to get the ball into the hands of number 0, get him down low. They're running the screens around him right now. See the pick and roll happen right there. Oh, man.
3 on the way, rattles off for Cash Gardner.
Cash right in the right position, but again, they're running the pick and roll. Tim's just not able to get turned around to get the ball.
Smithers' three-point try won't go. Good hustle by Strength to rip down the rebound. Evans, the sophomore.
There it is. Don't pass out.
Heckma just wants to see number 0.
Because I tell you what, I mean, you got a 7-footer like that. This kid, like I said, 20 years ago, he'd be a household name.
Tristan Strength, nice move. Panthers with the lead again.
We'd be talking about the 7-footer at Colleyville Heritage, how dominant he is. There's nobody can stay with this kid.
Burris probing, threw it away. Gardner with the steal. Weaver steps into a 3. Well short. Knocked away. Will stay on this end. Knocked out of bounds by Dempster.
And you see the frustration right there on Jason Dempster's face. He's like, man, how could I have allowed that one to go off of my hands? Couldn't have been an easier rebound.
Tipped away. Lungini in a foot race with it. Weaver somehow comes out of it. Now they've got numbers. 3 on the way for Gardner. No. Finau called for the foul on the rebound.
Coach Hamrick is having words right now with the referee on that side because he's like, what do you mean over the back? He's 7 foot tall. What do you mean? That's impossible. What do you mean? I feel you, Coach. No way.
Heckma, with the way you delivered that, you just cut me in half. That was fantastic. 5.5 to play in the fourth. In a 2-point game in Argyle, trying to answer. Dempster, one-on-one with the sophomore Weaver into the lane, has it stripped away. Another steal by Heritage. Evans up ahead of the pack. 1-on-2, leaves it for Weaver. Offensive foul.
I tell you what, that's a good job right there by Gerald Burris, keeping his feet set in the paint and attracting that charge. But it really did. It looked like he got half of them, but just enough of them to get the charge.
Shout out to Calvin Brent in the YouTube comments, says he's enjoying from active duty in San Diego, California. Says, let's go Panthers. Says he's number 2's dad. That's Damari Evans.
Oh, wow, man. Thank you so much for your service, sir.
Amen to that. Dempster, nice spin move in the lane, and the fadeaway goes to tie it up again.
That's the hand that they needed to get hot. And finally, number 1, Dempster knocks down the shot.
Quickly back the other way. Dempster with the block.
Wow.
Skying to cancel it out on Coburn.
Dempster says, this is your house, but it's my house now.
Lungini missed the first time, gets the putback. Argyle back in front.
That was a veteran move from number 22, Lungini, recognizing that he has a guy in Cash Gardner trying to attract the charge. He misses, goes right back up with his own rebound.
Foul on the floor here. This is the first Argyle lead of the fourth quarter. Tied a couple different times, but the Eagles for the first time in this final period with the advantage. Evans, the sophomore, probing. Weaver gives in the corner for Coburn. Nice move on the baseline.
Man,
tied again.
And Coburn's strength is his ability to just run off of those defenders and get inside. He is so unbothered. Every time they're trying to run him off his spot, he just gets to another spot and picks the right shot.
Timeout called by Russell Perkins, the 10th year head coach at Argyle, a state champion head coach. Led him to a title in 2021. We mentioned earlier, also a competitive mathematics coach. What do you think the mad scientist draws up here with 4 minutes and 3 seconds left in a tie basketball game?
If we know the mad scientist like we think we do, he's talking about his defense. He's talking about these guys, look, just continuing to clamp down and make life impossible for him. I think Camden Coburn is really adjusted well to that defensive pressure. Every time they're running out at him, he's finding a way to get into other areas. You've got to get Tristan's strength, though, with this last 4 minutes. Just find a way to get number 13 to dominating the way that you know that he does. He is a guy that can create his own shot. But, man, he has been waiting around a lot on those other guys to get their shots up. Sometimes you can be so unselfish that it costs your team. Now may be the time that you take things into your own hands, especially if you want to walk away from here with the upset over the number 10 team.
36 apiece our score. 4:03 to play in this fourth quarter. 3 fouls against Colleyville Heritage in this final period, 1 against Argyle. Burris picked his dribble up on the baseline, heaves it all the way across the court to Dempscher. 14-footer misses short, offensive rebound. Another try for Dempscher on the fadeaway won't go. Lungini had it knocked away, tipped back in bounds by Strength, and here comes Heritage.
Heritage with numbers initially.
Finau underneath, lefty layup won't go. To the free throw line goes the 7-footer.
Tim Finau, your biggest fan is over here on the side pulling for you, man. I tell you, I have turned into a Tim Finau fan because I'm like, look, big fella, they can't play with you. They can't play with you. When you decide that you want to take over a game, you can do it. You can see the way that he's running the floor, but also better yet, you see that when he gets down in the paint, how comfortable he is. The Panthers had numbers, man. That should have been an easy score for him.
Finau has a dozen on the night, but this is the one place where he has really struggled, is at the free throw line. Another chance here to give his team the lead. Weaver battling for an offensive rebound. Bodie Weaver has been active in this second half.
Bodie Weaver is a football player, okay? Playing basketball. And you saw that right there on the way that he attacked the basketball to get that rebound.
Offensive foul on the screen called on Finau.
Wow, what a call.
Three fouls now on Finau with a little over 3 minutes to play. Tied at 36. Lungini. Down the lane, the sophomore short-armed it. No call.
And Strength, man, following that shot and getting the rebound, what a great job there.
Tristan Strength sets the offense, gives off for Weaver, up and under, won't go. Offensive rebound, Coburn, he missed it short. Burris probing off the glass for the lead.
They stayed in that man-to-man look, and Bodie Weaver got the matchup. But right there, that's Gerald Burris just not going to be denied as he gets to the baseline and gets an easy 2 points.
Strength. Looking to set up a little two-man game with him and Finau, but a nice job by Karan Matu to front the 6'11 senior Finau. Under 2 minutes to play.
This possession taking a long time right now by the Panthers. Man, you hope that this comes away with 2 to 3 points right now.
Weaver underneath for Finau, draws a foul.
And Matu is just battling because they wanted to find the right angle to get the ball in to Finau, and Matu is working and doing everything that he possibly can, just not able to stop that pass from getting in to the big man.
Not in the bonus yet, baseline inbound. Off the screen on the baseline at Strength. Matu fought through the screen nicely. Under a minute and a half to play. Strength into the lane, nearly had it ripped away. Had to give it back up top for Gardner, and they'll reset the offense again. A travel called on Coburn as he lost his balance. He leaned into the defender, Lungini, and lost his feet.
That's a savvy play by the Southmore. Lungini recognizing that he has Coburn trying to leverage himself in the defense. He just backs all the way out and collapses Coburn. They get the traveling call.
Burris quickly down the lane, offensive foul. Stepping in to take the charge was Gardner. And Burris is down after the play, holding his right ankle.
And maybe that's the same ankle that plagued him and he was out in their first district loss. And he is a leader on the floor and a guy that they can ill afford to lose.
You mentioned earlier the only district loss they have this year came against Birdville in a game where he was not available because of an ankle injury. Ostensibly rolled his left ankle here, crashing down the lane. Cash Gardner standing there to draw the charge and give his team another opportunity here with $1:07 to play. Down 2 as Stephen Hamrick draws up a play. What's the thought process here, Hagma Harrison, if you're Stephen Hamrick and the Colleyville Heritage Panthers?
I think right now, I mean, the entry passes to Tim Finau has just been too difficult. It's taken too much away from your offense, so you got to get something to go down immediately. I'm looking for a guy like Camden Coburn, who really has been able to create off the dribble, even set up his own shot with defenders trying to run him off of his spots. Or I go to Tristan Strength, and allowed him to do what he does. I mean, with 1:07 left here, you know, they have the full arsenal of what they would want to do in their playbook at their disposal. I just look for him to draw up something easy, maybe to get an easy shot off, tie it up, and rely on his defense, maybe to push it to overtime, but maybe push it to a last-minute shot for the Panthers.
Meanwhile, as you see on your screen, Gerald Burris being helped back to his feet. That is Cash Polk, the 6'9 junior that tore his ACL the first time these two teams played back in December. For some reason, this matchup has been a bit of a house of horrors for the Argyle Eagles from an injury perspective. A year ago when they played in December last season, they had Jason Demsher injure his foot. Then in the earlier game this year in December, of course, the ACL tear for Cash Polk. Now, as you see Gerald Burris, their junior starting point guard, instrumental to who they are as a basketball team, having to gingerly make his way to the sideline.
Yeah, this is a tough matchup. They play each other so hard defensively. None of these shots have been easy tonight, and it's indicative of the score, 38-36. We played 4 quarters of basketball. Every shot has been contested here tonight.
It'll be Cash Gardner, the junior, to set the offense for the Panthers. Down 2 with a minute to play. Off the screen comes Tristan Strength. Underneath for Finau. No double team. The foul. Wow. And he'll head to the free throw line as Matu was all over him.
Matu is hugging him right here. Look at this, over the shoulder. He just does not want this to be an N1. They find the entry pass. That's what I was saying, Mike. It's been so hard to get the ball inside to Finau, and just a great spot for him to make an easy bucket. But credit right there to Hambrick going in to allow at the timeout to say we're going to draw up a play to get it down low to the big man.
And credit to Finau to hit the first free throw. Can he hit the second and tie the basketball game? He's struggled from the charity stripe tonight. When it matters, 2 for 2. Tie game. Finau with 14 on the night, and it's 38 apiece.
The tough part right now for the Argyle Eagles is their point guard, Gerald Burris, is on the sideline with a hurt ankle. He is the guy that you would rely on with 52 seconds left to basically get this ball down the court and find an open shooter. I mean, he's trying to walk it off, but man, you need your guy right now.
Without Gerald Burris on the floor, you imagine the offense has got to start with Dempscher. They've got weapons. Elizardo, Smithers. Smithers, to me, feels like a sneaky weapon on this play if they started with Dempscher. Lungini's had a really nice second half. You see Burris on his feet, but it does not look like he's going to be returning to the floor.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he's able to just stand on it. You see him right there. He's holding onto the shoulder of one of the other players and can't put a significant amount of weight down on that ankle. So it's going to be Ryder Smithers. I agree with you, man. He is a guy that has knocked down some threes here tonight. You've got to keep up with where number 5 is on the floor.
It'll beat Dempscher to throw the ball inbounds. I'll be surprised if it doesn't very quickly go back to him to bring the ball up the floor and set the offense.
And absolutely it does, and they're relying on the sophomore.
.40 seconds to play in a tie game. 2 of the 3 best teams in District 7-5A coming down to the wire. Lungini with it. Guarded by Coburn, who's had a fantastic second half. Dempscher, the 1,000-point scorer, with 18, guarded by Weaver. Timeout, Russell Perkins. 12.9 to play.
And Coach Perkins recognizes just drain more time off the clock. Give me an opportunity to draw up a play. Try and run one of these guys off of a screen. Look for something underneath. They don't really respect him, Finau, as far as his defensive prowess underneath the goal. So I look for them to at least do something to put him in a compromising position, run him out of the paint, and maybe get something easy.
They set the clock to 13.4. If we can bring back the district standings in 7-5A, just to enforce the importance of this basketball game. Argyle at the top at 6-1. Denton Ryan, certainly, I imagine maybe some of the folks that are tuning in right now to see the finish of this basketball game, it matters to them as well. Colleyville Heritage trying to hand Argyle their second loss in district play. But it will be Argyle, the number 10 team in the state, with possession with 13.4. A foul sends them to the free throw line regardless.
And they've used this sophomore, Lungini, a ton here. Lungini doing a really good job defensively, rebounding. But I tell you what, this is a sophomore coming of age, putting in some quality minutes.
Both teams with 2 timeouts left. Inbound comes to Elizardo with 10 seconds. Handoff for Dempscher. Dempscher guarded by Gardner. Now by Coburn. Down to 2. Knocked away. Timeout called by Perkins with 0.3 of a second left. They weren't going to get a shot off. Hamrick, I think, is trying to argue that the clock should have expired. You can see it in your screen on the replay there. Perkins hollering for a timeout. The clock stopped at .3. We will see what John Woods and his crew decide here. They're going to change it to .1.
Wow. 1.5.
Okay, that's a very big difference.
Okay.
1.5. They were in the process of changing the clock. Okay. 1.5 is a cavernous difference from 0.3. Because now a catch and shoot is possible. 0.3 and less, you have to just tip it in. 1.5, now everything's on the table.
Now, I understand the strategy from Coach Perkins after that timeout. He was draining off the initial clock, came back with 12 seconds, wanted to draw something up with an ISO to get the ball into Dempster, but the defense of Colleyville, they brought the double team right to number 1. When he did that, there was no way that he could pass out of it and find an open shooter. So at this point, it just only makes sense. They called that timeout because he was trapped. But with a second, 1.5 seconds here, what could the play be?
It will be inbounded from the sideline directly in front of Russell Perkins. Jack Elizardo to throw it in. They put the big 7-footer Tim Finau covering the inbound pass. Elizardo looking for someone. Cross court. Dempster. Weaver catches it and throws on the fly. Bodie Weaver nearly ended it. Instead, we go to overtime, tied at 38. My word, if that was how this game finished, are you kidding me? Weaver with the steal, and that was...
Man, and that looked good from where we were sitting. And when I saw that ball hit the backboard, I'm like, this is all net. He's going to knock this one down, but how fitting this game goes to overtime.
It only makes sense the way that this game has flowed. There was a brief moment late in the first quarter where Argyle built up a 6-point lead. Other than that, once Heritage reeled them back in, it has been back and forth, just yo-yoing with the lead the entire rest of the way. It only makes sense for this game to go to an extra frame.
No, and it has been so close, and I think the one thing that threw off the rhythm of that last possession for Argyle is the fact that Gerald Burris was out of the game. Imagine that. He is the floor general for them and the guy that really sets up so much, man. Now you're asking for some guys literally to play out of position now because they're trying to supplement for so many missing pieces.
Burris sits on the sideline, had his hands behind his head there for a moment in frustration. They're going to re-tip that. Now we're going to have a conference between John Woods, Brian Curtis, and Brian Battaglia. It's going to be Argyle basketball. Finau tipped that ball before it reached its apex. The violation against Heritage, and Argyle will have possession to start overtime.
And Tim, it's just like, I'm sorry, I saw it the whole way. I'm 7 foot, guys.
So what does Argyle do without their floor general, Gerald Burris, on the floor? It's Lungini running the offense now. Offensive foul on Dempster, setting the screen.
Again, that was just baiting the young sophomore into a bad decision. He makes it turnover, and let's see what the Panthers can do to take the lead here in overtime.
It has been a game that has been played with relatively few fouls. Nobody really in any significant foul trouble. No one has 4 fouls. Finau with 3, Dempster now with 3. That's it. Beg your pardon, Elizardo also has 3. That's the closest there is, though, to foul trouble. Finau Kick out, corner 3. Rattles home. Cash Gardner gives Heritage the lead.
Boy, that was probably one of the biggest shots Cash Gardner's taken in this gym. Able to knock that one down to stretch the lead to 3 points. Can they start to nail things down defensively? And that's a no as Dempscher says hello to the rim.
Jason Dempscher on the baseline drive, and it's a 1-point game.
Yo, Jason. Oh, wow. Wait a minute.
If anybody in the gym was sitting before, they're not now. Strength, guarded by Matu. A 1-point lead for Heritage. Strength. Gives to Weaver on the baseline. Nice feed for Coburn. Double clutching layup won't go. Finau can't grab the rebound. Matu with a good box out.
What a possession right there, and a missed opportunity by Colleyville to go up by 2 points, 3 points.
Dempscher with it again. The double team comes, he goes cross court for Lungini, driving baseline. Cross court for Smithers, the 3 won't go. 2 Eagles knocked each other off it, but Dempscher still comes away with it.
Dempscher just right there on the spot, tracking the whole time, and as you stated, 2 Eagles running into each other. Man, what a possession right now for Argyle.
Offensive rebounds again, rearing their ugly head. Colleyville Heritage has struggled to keep Argyle off the offensive glass, especially in the second half and overtime of this game. Underneath Lugini, can't hit the layup for the lead.
Now, that's a rebound that Tim Finau needed for his team. How big was that? Minute 15 left here in overtime.
Again, no shot clock in Texas high school basketball. A minute 10 knocked away. The steal. Smithers took it away from him.
Oh, Smithers right in the path of that pass. They're trying to get it down low to Tim Finau, who boxes out.
Smithers from way out. Long. Another offensive board. This time chased down by Elizardo. 48 seconds left. Dempscher one-on-one with Coburn. Elizardo pulling Finau away from the basket. Dempscher into the lane, fadeaway, 14-footer for the lead, misses short. And a foul from behind. Elizardo with his 4th. 30.8 on the clock. To the free throw line, Bodie Weaver.
Elizardo has been playing his heart out. A guy that probably, not a lot of points for number 3, but what he's been doing is all the dirty work. Rebounds, getting down on the floor to get those loose balls.
Weaver extends the lead. The sophomore, the backup quarterback on the football team, wasn't able to join the basketball team until the middle of December. A 1-for-2 trip. It's a 2-point game. 27 seconds left. Gerald Burris, the point guard, on the bench with an ankle injury. It's Dempscher to start the offense with 15. Dempscher into the lane, draws a foul. He's going to head to the free throw line. 2 shots for Dempscher. The 20-point scorer with a chance to tie it again.
Camden Coburn keeping his feet moving, trying to cut off number 1, Jason Dempscher, but just got too far underneath him. These are 2 big free throws right here for the senior.
Pressure free throws for a kid who's been on varsity since his freshman year, and he misses the first. Do you try and make this, or do you intentionally miss? Dempscher, 1 for 2, 1-point game. Pressure in the corner, strength, foul. Tristan Strength to the free throw line with 9.1. This thing is not over, Heckma Harrison. Even 2 free throw makes, it's still an opportunity for Argyle.
Not by a long shot, and I think both coaches know that. Coach Hambrick knows it as well. That's why they're going to call the timeout to let these guys know what to do in the event of a make or a miss, because these 9 seconds are going to be crucial. You know, on the other side for Coach Perkins, he's going to draw up a play that's going to be easy for these guys. Right now, I ride the hot hand of Jason Dempscher. That move on the baseline and dunk, my goodness, this thing set this whole game off for me. Jason Dempscher is an explosive player. Man, just not able to knock down that first free throw.
I was going to say, that's the thing that is top of mind now, I'm sure, for number 1 in a black uniform, Jason Dempscher, the senior. A 1-for-2 trip at the free throw line, and as a result, this is a 1-point lead still for Colleyville Heritage. We saw their girls team spring the upset on number 5 Argyle earlier tonight on this floor. Now the boys team trying to follow suit and earn a sweep here tonight against a pair of teams ranked in the top 10 in the state, but there is still work to be done as Tristan Strength will head to the free throw line for 2 shots out of this timeout.
Yeah, this district is highly competitive, and a lot of these games are going to come down to the wire. But 2 of the best here in 7-5A.
Heritage has 1 timeout remaining. Argyle with 3. Beg your pardon, flip-flop it. Heritage with 3, Argyle with 1. Strength with 2 shots. Misses the first.
Big miss right there from number 13, Tristan Strength.
Everything is now on the table for Argyle, 2 or 3. Best shot you can get. A 1-point game with 8 seconds. Here comes Dempscher. Dempscher off the screen, down the corner, cross court. Lungini, baseline, floater, short, and it's over. Heritage hangs on for the win.
And finally, Tim Finau gets the big, it wasn't a block, but what he did was he got into the way of Lungini and deterred that shot. Lungini catches it out on the baseline and challenges the 7-footer. Just needed a lot more arc on that shot in order for it to go down.
Dempscher looked cross-court, found Lungini open on the baseline. But as you said it, the defense of the 7-footer Finau, enough to force the short arm from Lungini, and Colleyville Heritage hangs on for a 42-41 win in overtime to knock off the number 10 team in the state.
What a game. And man, they competed all the way to the end. And the big fella, Tim Finau, he just had to continue to stay engaged in this game. Look, he ends up making an immediate impact and being somebody that, look, no matter how slow the start was for him, his ability to get those easy shots up, his ability to make these guys change their shots at the last minute, he is a big presence in the middle. Hard to miss, number 0.
He finishes with 14 points on the night, and the big defensive play to finish this basketball game. Cash Gardner with the huge 3 to start off overtime. But one more look at the final play here. Lungini, not a lot of hesitation there. The sophomore, in a big moment, realized what was happening and was aggressive in going to the hoop. But just a tough shot over a 7-foot kid. Tough finish to ask for, and comes up just a hair short.
And I'm sure he wishes that he had that ball back again because it was close. He just needed to put more arch on it. But defensively, this was a contest that every last shot was contested. I love the way that they competed. It came down to the wire. I think if these 2 teams played 2 days from now, you'd have the same score that you have tonight. It would be just that close because of the way that they match up.
Some of the players visiting with parents and family members after the basketball game. A big win for Colleyville Heritage as they now move to 6-2 and tied with Argyle atop the district. Let me see if I can find real quick what happened with Denton Ryan basketball tonight. Are they now alone at the top of the district standings? Doesn't look like we've got a final score in the books just yet. They're still listed at 6-1. They were facing Denton tonight, another team that has played some good basketball this season. But they may well be atop the district standings after tonight if they were able to get a win in that basketball game. Your takeaway from two really good teams that played a significant battle tonight.
I think Colleyville Heritage, what they did, man, they definitely protected their home court. They made sure that their role players got involved in that first game, that the women's game, well, the girls' game. It was a ton of back and forth, but I think that I think the world knows about Journey Hampton now.
They should.
I think Journey Hampton has introduced herself to everyone out there that she is a serious basketball player here in Colleyville Heritage. And one of those great games, and Coach Courtney Lee with the ability to get her players involved to pull out that victory and shock the Lady Eagles in this men's game. It's just, I thought it was just so highly contested by both of these squads, but it came down to those last final minutes. Jason Dempscher has nothing to hang his head about, because that young man played his heart out. He gave them everything to worry about every time number one had the ball in his hand, but also Ryder Smithers played his heart out as well. So much back and forth, so many guys to mention, but it came down to those last final seconds, and finally Tim Finau with the defensive stop, or just altering that shot, really was the difference in the reason why Colleyville is able to walk out of here with a victory.
Give you a look ahead at next week here on Tuesday Night Hoops. This one has potential to be a lot of fun. 4 of the top juniors in all of Texas playing in this basketball game. Waxahachie beat Duncanville in Waxahachie earlier this month. Duncanville trying to get a little revenge and get themselves back into the upper echelon in the district standings. It's entirely breaking my brain to even conceptualize the Duncanville Panthers without a ranking next to their name. That just doesn't make sense, but they've had a bit of an up and down season this year. Part of that was the loss at Waxahachie. Waxahachie just sprung a big win over Mansfield Lake Ridge earlier this year. I believe last week, if memory serves, on Wednesday, that was a bit of a shot across the bow for a Lake Ridge team that was ranked 7th in the state. Waxahachie and Lake Ridge right now look like they may be the class of this district. Duncanville, though, playing Lake Ridge tonight. I'll be curious to see what the result was in that one, because they lost at Lake Ridge. Tonight they've got them at home, and the same scenario here with Waxahachie. You know Duncanville's looking to get themselves right back into where they are used to being, and that's the game we've got for you next week here on Tuesday Night Hoops.
I'm telling you, I'm looking at that, and my instantly thought, well, I guess Clay Marshall can't be perfect. When I didn't see the number next to Duncanville's name, I was like, clearly that was an oversight. Clay, you can't be perfect all the time, but you're right. We're going in with Waxahachie ranked ahead of Duncanville, but man, some of the area's best are going to be on that court. And Mike, we got a really good one brewing next week.
Last update I can find for Duncanville and Lake Ridge. Heading to the 4th, it was 55-33, Duncanville with the lead. That would only make things that much more interesting a week from tonight here on WFAA Plus and the WFAA YouTube channel. Final thoughts here from Colleyville Heritage and Argyle. You mentioned earlier, Journey Hampton outstanding in the early game, leading Heritage to a win over the 5th-ranked Argyle Eagles. And then tonight in the nightcap, as Steph Curry in a Davidson jersey taking hold of the court here as everything is emptied out here at Colleyville Heritage. That's an outstanding jersey.
Of course it is.
That is an outstanding jersey to be wearing. I really appreciate that. Finau, Coburn, Tristan Strength made plays when he could. The shots weren't falling for him, but he made some plays when he needed to, especially in the second half and into overtime. The big 3 from Cash Gardner. really, really impressive night for Colleyville Heritage, both boys and girls. 2 huge wins for these programs.
Yeah, competed their heart out, and I love that. When you protect your house, that means a lot more, and it meant something to these players in the way that they competed, the way that they rebounded. A lot of that wasn't going their way. Argyle really did dominate them on the glass, and they had to make up for it in other areas. And they found a way to get it done in the end. You got to credit these guys for getting it done, though.
All right, we are ready to shut down this gym. They got extracurricular one-on-one games going on at this point. Time to shut it down here on Tuesday Night Hoops again next week. Right back here on WFAA Plus, we will be at Duncanville High School, Waxahachie and Duncanville. We hope you will join us then. But for our entire Tuesday Night Hoops team, Clay Marshall, our director, Graham Rayner, running the cameras back behind us, Heckma Harrison alongside, Paul Wedding, our digital coordinator back in-house. I'm Mike Leslie. Thanks so much for joining us here from Colleyville Heritage High School. Your final in the nightcap, 42-41. The Panthers on the boys' side with the upset win over Argyle.